This episode of the Esoteric Order of Roleplayers is brought to you by the generosity of our backers on Patreon. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/esotericrp to find out how you can become a backer too.
I got you. That's all I want. I won't forget. That's a whole lot. I don't go out. Not now that you're in. Sometimes we shout, but that's no problem.
The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers presents Monsterhearts with Desiree Valdez as the MC. Although all of our episodes come with an explicit content warning, please be aware that Monsterhearts encourages players to explore particularly dark aspects of their characters. In other words, this is our equivalent of a premium cable TV series. You've been warned.
Alright. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We are all gathered today. It's a full table, which is awesome. We are playing Monsterhearts.
Yay!
And you've heard me for probably the past year talk about running Giovanni, but fuck that noise. I say that with love because it is a very challenging chronicle to run, and I obviously wasn't prepared enough. But I'd rather play something that is more collaborative. It's the holiday season. We're getting into sporadic attendance because of weather. So we wanted to make this easy and fun and something challenging. It will be squirm-inducing, though. I can guarantee you that because I'm running it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Squirms every turn.
It's Apocalypse World, and Des is running it.
Yes, it's Apocalypse World.
Everyone take your fan.
Oh my god.
So,
We'll need our fans.
at this point in time, I don't think we're going to light the story candle. I mean, we don't want to digress too much, but because we're collaborating and creating this world together. So, like with any Apocalypse World setting, this is highly collaborative. So I'm counting on you to bring it. Like you're bringing your imaginations, you're bringing your honesty, you're bringing your creativity to the table every time because.
2 bottles of wine enough, guys? Or should I run up my third?
Yeah, I got time to make another round.
Yeah.
Get through this.
I can unintentionally sound serious, but I have high expectations of y'all. So
I got a lot of garbage I can bring.
good, yeah. So this is basically Monsterhearts 2. It's the quote, like one of the quotes is high school horror show. Monsterhearts 2 is about the messy lives of teens who are secretly.
Oh, do you want me to read it? Remember, they said you should read it like a movie trailer.
Not this part yet.
Oh, okay.
Not this
I'm
part.
standing by.
Yeah, no, you're playing. No, okay. That I think you're confusing that with the setting. You're confusing that with the setting.
Exactly.
But
It'll work.
when you are introducing your characters, there will be some performance.
Well, there's
expected.
that too. There's that too.
But the setting is reading the setting. Those.
Oh, but we don't have that.
We don't have that.
Right,
It's fine
And
though.
I'm glad I watched The Holiday recently, because that trailer voice is just kind of like stuck in my head now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just watched it like last week.
So Monsterhearts 2 is about that. So it explores the terror and confusion of having a body that is changing without your permission. The monstrosity of these characters is literal. They are vampires, werewolves, witches, and more. But their monstrosity is also allegorical, standing in for experiences of alienation, shame, queerness, and self-destruction.
I was gonna have.
Yeah.
Are they pregnant?
Yeah, exactly. They're pregnant. They're all pregnant teens.
Oh my
So that's a,
Even the
that's-
guys.
All
That's,
right.
a niche, that's a niche they have not filled in. The
Not yet. Not yet.
Really?
It's getting
Yeah.
there. I mean, it
We're doing
speaks
it.
to it. I
But
mean,
we're doing it.
Yeah, we could do it. I mean, y'all could get pregnant. I don't know. That's a whole other thing.
That feels like it should be like one of the classes, like a pregnant
Yeah.
teen
Yeah.
with like something terrible growing inside.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
No,
Yeah.
we need to get a license from MTV, Teen Mom, the role-playing game.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Yeah.
But I think actually
like
Bluebeard's
that.
Bride talks about pregnancy
That's
and
true.
body, so it's heavily about body horror.
I've already got hives. We're not
Okay,
even 5 minutes.
yeah, I'm getting a little itchy too, and I'm running this. But this is highly collaborative. So I'm the MC, and so aside from me, each player is in charge of creating and playing a single main character. Each of those main characters start with a skin that defines what kind of monster you are. Skins are both literal and allegorical. And so they, like, for instance, the vampire is an actual vampire. It's an immortal being who drinks blood, but you're also a manipulative person who treats consent like a game. So they're both things at once, and it's an ebb and flow, and that creates the story. So, let's see here. So this is a conversation. So similar to Bluebeard's Bride and Velvet Glove, if you were here to play that, we're gonna be having conversations with each other. You're gonna hear me say quite often, "What do you do?" I'll be presenting you opportunities to explore your characters, and I'll be coming up with all the NPCs as we go along. So, let's see here. Another thing to keep in mind is that Monsterhearts is also a conversation. It meanders sometimes, but it always goes somewhere, and we're building off of what each other says. So if you have ideas for the narrative, I would say for this particular game, like some games were like, let me just play my character, this is my thing. In this instance, it's like, hey, this is my character, but like, maybe I'm not exactly sure where I'm going with it, and I'm thinking out loud, and then if people want to chime in, you're free to. It's not like we're infringing on you playing your character. It's just like, here's how to make the story like really fun and exciting. So some of the things to think about with this game, the main agenda for the game is to make each main character's life not boring. Keep the story feral, which is just constantly moving, pace, it's fast, it's like, what's happening next? This decision needs to be made right now, oh my god, what's happening? Saying what the rules demand. So based on the constraints of your skin and what you're playing, you want to make sure that you are playing to those rules specifically, and that will build the story and make it more exciting and fun. And then say what honesty demands. So like, how are you really feeling, and then how is that happening in the game? How's your character feeling about this? And how is it going to take shape? Even if it's scary, even if it's sad. So, and even if it's fun or sexy or weird. So, to that end,
It takes all kinds.
it does. And there are all kinds here. So, to that end, I have X cards for you all, so if you can pass that around.
Oh my god.
And there's a quote on the back of it, too. A quote that I
These are
found.
fancy.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, like you could keep the X card face down with the quote up, and then if you want to play,
If you want it, but you have to make sure that I'm aware, and I will check in.
okay.
I will check in though and find out, like, should we X card this? I
I wish
won't.
I appreciate the ability to like.
You can stand it up.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the whole point. So, like, I think I'm not going to single out anyone. If you're squirming or whatever, feel free to say X card. But if not, I will check in with everybody and say, should we X card this? So, who would like to read the quote on the back out loud?
I
It's
will.
from a poem.
Oh,
It's a
good.
poem. Okay, Renae.
Oh, hey. My mother forbade us to walk backwards. That is how the dead walk, she would say. Where did she get this idea? Perhaps from a bad translation. The dead, after all, do not walk backwards, but they do walk behind us. They have no lungs and cannot call out, but would love us, or love for us, to turn around. Ooh.
Yeah.
They are victims of love, many of them. That's by Anne Carson.
Yes. So this is, again, this is a very, it's an adolescent game. It's about romance. It's about discovering what feelings you have that are burgeoning up, and just making sure, again, that your life is not boring, that your story is feral, that say what the rules demand, and say what honesty demands. So basically, let the story's messy, chaotic momentum guide it forward. At any given moment, focus on reacting to each other. Focus on reacting to me. We will allow others to foil your plans. Like, if you're like, I'm definitely doing this, and then something else happens, allow that to kind of take shape. And then just play to find out what happens next and let yourself be surprised. So you might have this great idea, but it gets foiled, and it's like, but then it helps you think of another really cool idea. So that's the goal of the game.
Yay.
Yes. So, It's also important for you to communicate with me what you're feeling and needing. If a scene's going down, you're not comfortable with it, you have every right to say something. And it's important, it's important to say what the rules are going with, but you just want to make sure that we all feel safe and grounded when we play. We may take, oh, wow, that was loud. We may take breaks from time to time, like a little 5-minute breather, just to kind of chill and check in.
Awesome. Commercial break.
Exactly. Yeah. I may approach you if...
Monsterhearts will return after these important messages.
Exactly. I may approach you if I am sensing that maybe like you were having a particular hard time with a scene, or there's something maybe you want to talk about. So, but no pressure there. We just want to make sure everyone feels safe and cared for. So, we are going to go into... I'm not going to talk about moves right away. I want to make sure I've explained the premise and role. So I am the MC, you are the players. Typical role playing, I will be addressing you as your characters' names. That's a given as far as I'm concerned. There's one more thing I wanted to make sure you were aware of. So, queer content. So we will have some queer content in this game. That means more possible romantic pairings. It lets us build relationships in webs that are dense and ever-changing, and just see what happens with that. We're going to be working with queer assumptions in this game, not necessarily assuming everybody is straight. A lot of the themes in this game also have to do with belonging and difference. And so a lot of our, all of our characters are struggling with their monstrousness, and belonging can feel like an uphill battle. Maybe you want to hide that. Maybe you want to just have that out for everyone to see. It's up to you. So again, say what the honesty demands. Race is also a big component of this game as well. Race, ethnicity, national origin, and religion affect, our narratives and our interactions. And so you can explore these dynamics in your characters. So I'm hoping for a diverse cast here, and just to make it a vivid and engaging game within reason. If you want to play up certain elements of your game, make sure you're coming at it from a culturally humility, kind of culturally sensitive space. If you have some cultural competency around what you want to portray, I'm all for that and happy to explore that with you. We want to just make sure we're not erasing identities and we're not overstepping boundaries at the same time. And if you have questions about any of this, I'm happy to elaborate. One other thing. We're going to delve more into the game dynamics in just a bit. There will be sexuality in this game. There are sex moves for every character. So, and another safety device for that is fading to black. So we don't have to really delve if we don't want to. We can just say, and then the camera pans over and fade to black. We know what happens. And the same is for
smoking.
Yeah, exactly. Then the smoking. Then we fade back in, and the curtains are billowing, and there's cigarettes. But I also think for violence as well. So this holds true for violence as well, not just for sex, but for violence. Yeah. We don't want to maybe, do that. If your character is asexual, there's also room for that as well. One other thing that I'll delve into a little bit more. I just want to make sure that we're clear on this, because we're going to go through the character creation process. Okay, so yeah. So I know that we've played a lot of different games together. We've played a lot of horror games together. Mm-hmm. And so Monsterhearts is not about rallying together as a party to go forth and conquer something. Uh-oh. It's just exploring relationships. It's about unless there's a common villain, that's a whole other thing. But okay. It's about exploring relationships and internal strife. And it's not player versus player. Oh. It's a game where your characters may hurt one another. The characters may hurt one another, make mistakes, and navigate social fallout from the decisions that have been made. But it's not like your dog pound, unless the story calls for it.
It's not strictly cooperative.
Exactly.
Right.
But it's collaborative.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Distinction.
So I want to make sure that's clear before we start launching into that. Do you have any questions so far?
None on this end.
Okay, you're good. All right, let me pull up my music then.
All right, David, so which big mouth character are you going to be?
All right. Okay, so I have my thing here. Before we had started, we were emailing each other,
Yes.
talking about exciting possibilities of what we wanted to play. I want to encourage you all to play something that speaks to you and that is like your gut, like that's what I want to do. Because if you're gonna like force something or you're not gonna, it's not gonna be easy. You want to do something that gut-wise you're like, yeah, or like that was my first choice. Like I want to do that. And to be fair, there have been some reservations made. So at this point, there have been some reservations. So at this point, we have a vampire, which is Larkins. We have a witch as well, Jade. And so Renae, Shimp, and Jen, I know you were still up in the air. So the ones I have open are the werewolf, the queen, the infernal, the hollow, and the ghoul.
Ghoul!
You have
That's fitting. No, that's fine. That's fitting.
Okay, so now I have the werewolf, the queen, the infernal, and the hollow.
You wanted
The hollow.
or the infernal, right? I'm not interested in either one of those.
Oh, okay, cool. Can I take a look at both of them?
Yes.
Yeah, give me the other two.
I'll highly encourage you to play the hollow. And then the
Ooh,
queen,
fun.
then the queen and the werewolf.
Right.
Jen, you would make it. Either of those you would do awesome at.
Well, the only issue is we got the werewolf coming up.
But this is like a different variation on the werewolf. And werewolves are fucking awesome.
You know, you're right, and I had thought about that.
Yeah. So
Like, how much am I a werewolf just all the time?
Well, I know, and is this really going to be play for me? Is it going to be fun?
I don't know. It depends on the setting we create. And it depends on the rules.
I mean, to be honest, when you're playing werewolves, for me, it's gonna be just misery after misery.
Oh.
Yeah, so you might as well have some fun with the werewolf.
Yeah, all right.
Plus, we'll have the palate cleansing vampires, yes?
Yes.
There's a palate cleanser?
There might be.
Oh,
There might be
Rusty
some other,
Days?
there might
Yeah.
be some other palate cleansers.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I thought vampire was coming before werewolf.
I'm totally going to play the werewolf.
I
It's
don't-
embarrassing.
Alright, so the queen is also up for grabs.
The queen is a
If
good
you
one.
change your mind, the queen is an awesome one. I would love.
I just didn't connect with the queen, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's
hard.
highly. It could be anything. It could be like an alien queen. It could be some type of spirit that's
Wait a minute
possessing
now.
a teenager. I know. There's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah, exactly. It could be like a deep one who's come to manifest in a town. So we'll leave the queen for now. Because your characters can die. I mean, they're capable of dying. So
Really? No.
yeah. So, but then you can
Why
create
did
a
I
new one.
pick this one?
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me pass these two out to
Will you be playing a character?
pass these
What's
two.
that?
Will you be playing a character?
Two down to
No,
Jen.
I'm kidding.
All right, and then here's this one for you.
Oh,
and
thank
then
you.
one for Shimp.
There you go.
Oh wow,
Thank you.
cardstock.
I know.
I know, this is
Jeez.
like, where's my, like, folder for that?
I know. I'm sorry. I don't have a folder.
Nice. Oh,
maybe
sorry.
next time. All right. So yeah, just kind of take that in.
And these are all the same for all of us as player sheets?
Yes,
The
those
player
player
sheets
sheets
are
are
the
all the
same.
same.
Okay.
There are special things within, especially for the vampire and the witch. There are definitely and werewolf. There are
cool.
different things that you're gonna have to keep track of. Okay.
So stoked about that.
I know.
Yeah.
This is a blast.
It's gonna be
I'd
fun.
already picked, and then I read it, and I was like, ooh, I'm so glad I picked it.
Yes,
Mhm,
it's
yeah.
perfect for you. All right, so
Oh man, this is righteous.
yeah. Wow. Okay.
I guess they give you names, but
You can always choose.
You can choose
Yeah.
your own, and I have a whole list of names here
Oh,
from
cool.
all different ethnic groups, so you can pick whatever you want.
And that's what I was just doing, is finalizing my last name.
Yeah. So once we've done this, then we're gonna go into our identities.
Oh, okay.
All right, yeah. My first choice was Hollow. I'm gonna stick with that.
Yay! All right.
It's a fascinating type.
It is really good. So, all right, so you've chosen your skins, and so I'm going to direct your attention to the identity section. It's on the inside left page of your skin sheet. So we're going to go into this, and we're going to start with, and I don't know about y'all, but sometimes when I'm creating a character, the name isn't always obvious to me until after I've like kind of created this person, or it could be vice versa. So whatever works for you. But when we're looking at the identity section, we want to circle one option for each component.
Okay.
So we have our identity. Top left, name. So I don't. If you want to leave this for later, you can do that, or if we want to, we can start to go around and start to share what we're doing here. So I'm going to give you some time to fill these out. So circle one option in each of the identity sections. You can mark these up. Yes.
Okay. So nice.
I know. That's why you should use them and enjoy them. So circle a name, but if you want a name outside of this, I can help you with that. A look, your eyes, and your origin.
Shall I start?
Yeah, so let's start with Larkins.
So we're using these cards, right?
Okay, so there are Sharpies in the middle of the table.
Yeah.
You have your cards in front of you in those little placeholders. Good job.
Oh no.
There's a purple one in there. And
Yeah.
a purple
one.
And there's also the black one. So I'd like you to write your name on there.
Oh.
Your anything we need to know about you, because this is basically facing out so that you all can see each other's stuff. And you may have to put conditions and stuff there too, but we'll save that for later. So, Larkins, if you want to start with your character, name, you can pick this, identify your skin, your identity. We'll go from there.
Okay. Oh, I spelled my name differently from how it is on the sheet. I have to start over. All right,
Flip it over.
Throw it away.
That's it. You ruined the game.
That's over.
done.
We're done.
It's over. Nobody read the rules. All right, so. All right, so I am Lucian.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I love it. We're gonna have fun.
Oh
I know who
yeah.
you are.
Lucian.
I'm a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
My look is intense.
Uh-huh.
My eyes are hungry,
Oh yeah.
and my origin is cursed blood.
Oh. So there could be you can undo the curse, possibly.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Oh.
This. I'm going for like a non-canonical vampire.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a
Ooh,
lot.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like Near Dark with the blood transfusion.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like vampirism's just like a weird like in Spider Baby where it's like a weird
It's
inherited
an inherited thing.
genetic thing. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm.
So what do you look like?
So I am white.
Mm-hmm. You're a cisgendered male.
Cisgendered male. I'm a cisgendered mullet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're that guy.
Yeah. Kind of sandy blonde hair,
Mullety.
mullety.
Oh, really quickly, I'm so sorry. So we were talking about when we were going to set this.
Yeah.
So I decided, because I know 80s can be the...
It's just me, and I know that.
No.
Well, also it's easy to get hung up on like, oh,
It's
such and
86 or
such.
89.
Yeah.
So here's what we're doing. Here's
It
what we're
makes
doing.
a difference.
So taking a cue from Chilling Tales of Sabrina and like other types of shows that kind of take a lot of different reference points. Your character, in terms of fashion, look, everything can be from post Watergate to pre 9/11, 2001.
Okay.
So from
We're in that
70,
late
75
20th century.
to 2001,
Right.
you
Okay.
can fit in that
And
in
the
that realm.
technology will
Technology
kind of
will be kind of in the late 80s, early 90s. So there's no cell phones.
Minimal.
Minimal technology. We're going to have computers kind of work for us. So if it serves a certain purpose to do something for the story, we'll use it.
They're magic boxes
They're kind of magic boxes that will just kind of do whatever they want for you.
with the plot demands.
Yeah, there's only payphones, right? Newspaper, radio, magazines. So there's
TV.
television. That's it. So that's the technology.
Compact discs are for rich people.
Yeah, CDs,
Oh my
laser
God.
discs for
Ooh,
rich people.
Bad memories
fancy.
are already here.
Cassettes.
We make
you know,
mixtapes for each other.
yeah, mixtapes.
Oh,
Purple.
Purple.
So does this put us like in the era of MTV or something? Like,
Yeah.
It's the MTV era.
Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
There you go.
So that's the timeline, but with some exceptions that we can kind of spread out toward the 90s. So whatever there is there, but low tech, very low tech. Okay, so I just want to make sure you have that in your mind as you're creating your character.
So
Yes.
sandy blonde mullet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Usual gear is scuffed jeans, either Chuck Taylors or combat boots.
Yep.
band T-shirts or other T-shirts that say like "Disco Sucks" or something like along those lines.
Yep.
Denim vest with a bunch of patches and buttons all over it. Flannel. Under the vest, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Wallet chain.
Wallet chain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that.
What color are your eyes?
Green, hazily green, thick lashes.
Do they do anything when you?
I don't know yet. I haven't gotten to my moves, so
Okay,
I
we'll get
think
to your
as I
moves.
get into my moves, I'll decide on that. But they're hungry. They're hungry eyes,
Like the song.
like the song.
Sorry, Eric Carbon.
Hungry eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, Eric Carmen, exactly.
I met Eric Carmen at a club.
And he wrote about
He
you.
wrote a song
Did you
based on
feed
me.
him? Did you feed
He's
on him?
also a
Possibly.
vampire if you've listened to any of his music.
There you go.
Stole nearly all of his stuff.
Oh my.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything else you want us to know about your identity
I
in
think
terms
that-
of your
that covers.
sexuality or your race or anything with your background?
I'm playing I'm playing a white guy because I'm playing a vampire, so I'm very predatory, and I'm here to like basically mooch off of everybody else. So that's me.
How
you
old
know.
are you?
Like 17, 18.
But how old are you?
17 or 18.
You just
Yeah, because it's cursed blood.
so it's
So I'm
manifesting
aging
now.
like a normal person.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
You really are breaking all the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Blowing your mind.
You are.
Do you smoke?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Incessantly.
just cigarettes or anything else? Smoking some doobies.
Probably.
By the
Smoking-
dumpster?
Do you smoke marijuana cigarettes?
Marijuana cigarettes.
Probably rolling up marijuana and smoking it like a cigarette. Yes. And being really inappropriate about how I talk about it, like
Oh my god.
saying that I'm going to get Chinese-eyed, for example.
Oh my god.
You know what? You know, well,
Tossing the X.
within reason. Within reason. That's kind
I'm just
of
saying that now to lay that so you can fill in the blanks later.
Alright.
So you're kind of a racist shithead.
Yes.
You're just like a kind of a are you pompous? Like
Yeah.
It's kind of like Beauty and the Beast, and we're trying to figure out whether or not you're worth saving from this curse.
that's right.
Yeah. See, I'm going to go with what do they call them? Attributes, stats. What do they
It's
call 'em?
your hotness, coldness.
yeah.
I don't even know what that's called.
Yeah. Stat. They're called
Your
stats.
stats.
I'm going with the stat option that has cold higher than hot.
Okay, so
So
wait,
I'm
looking at
more-
that, can you read that in
I'm
terms?
more
Wait.
cold than
So
hot.
basically, it's a hot and cold nature.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you're going more hot than cold.
No, more cold than hot.
More cold than hot.
Yeah.
So you're more disdainful than sexy,
Yes.
But you are sexy.
but you
Oh,
have a
yes.
sexy element.
Yes.
So-
I'm gonna try and tread the anti-hero path and see how that works out.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
So that segues into Jade's character. So
Yes.
what's your identity,
Jade has
name?
made an amazing card.
Beautiful.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, Rodrigo.
So Rodrigo Inez Morales.
Okay.
Oh.
My origin is I was taught by grandma.
Love it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
My look is coy. I definitely have a feminine look to my ensembles. They definitely look pretty worn out. Secondhand, thrifted, lots of mismatched patterns, colors, lots of layers. Fishnets, but lots of like ruffles and skirts and
Nice.
floral prints
Oh,
and stuff
right.
like
That's
that.
awesome.
I have deep eyes.
Deep. Okay.
Like so dark they like are they black? You don't know.
Ooh.
They just keep going.
Yeah.
Love it.
And
Yeah.
a massive mane of hair.
Oh, beautiful.
Interesting.
Nice.
And I'm definitely going for the seductive and spooky,
Nice.
which is more hot than cold, but also mostly dark.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice. Do you speak Spanish?
My character speaks only at home,
Okay.
Mhm.
mostly with my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
It was not really encouraged
Yeah.
at school growing up, and so I just don't really flaunt it around the kids that I go to class with.
Okay. All right. And let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think we're good. Well, I'll have more questions for you later. I'll have more questions for all of you later. So, we're moving into Jen, your character.
I am playing the werewolf.
Uh-huh.
My name is Cassidy.
Okay.
I was raised by wolves.
Really?
Whoa!
Oh,
I can't wait to in-game hear about that.
So I'm trying to figure things out.
yeah.
And I'm not very good at that.
What is your look?
I am primal.
Oh, and your eyes?
Predatory.
Oh, shit.
I smell a little bit.
You're a little funky.
A little funky. If there's an actor. He was in Miami Vice. Colin something.
Uh-huh.
Does
Okay.
anybody remember him?
No.
Colin something.
We'll look him up, though.
Colin Farrell.
Oh, Miami
Farrell-
Vice.
remake.
Yeah. Colin Farrell was a woman.
Okay.
Crossed with that character that I showed y'all with the Jamie Lee Curtis character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of that,
Okay.
to get the concept.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Colleen Farrell.
Colleen Farrell.
Cassidy.
But it's Cassidy.
Maybe I should go Colleen.
Hey, why not?
Is that too much?
No, let's do it.
All right.
All right, Colleen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Nice.
and yeah. So I was raised by wolves.
Wow. Okay. And then, what is, where do you live?
I live in a tumble down shack
Ooh.
next to a big willow tree that keeps dropping crap on the roof in a kind of a non-used area, like it's a kind of a land that's not developed right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On the peripheries.
Yeah, somewhere where a kid might take a shortcut.
Yeah.
That's where I live.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So are you gonna lean more toward Heartbreaker with a mean streak or Unpredictable Loose Cannon?
Loose cannon.
Loose Cannon. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm
that's
gonna
gonna
be
be Hot 1 and Volatile 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'll keep things,
shit.
popping.
Volatile too.
Jesus. Disdainful. I'm just making notes.
Uh-huh.
Seductive and spooky.
Okay, what were your tagline for your choice?
Disdainful.
On the back, I think it has like kind of a.
Oh, does it?
Description, yeah.
Yeah.
With the what now?
Oh, if you look on the very back. At least mine did.
Oh yeah, they're different.
Yeah, from mine I
Hey!
can get
Yeah,
you
you
need
need
to stop it.
Or an erratic misfit.
Sexy or disdainful.
Sorry,
So
I'm just-
you're playing for disdainful.
Okay, you know what?
Oh.
Either you're not gonna. You need to
What was
chill
this
out.
again?
You need to cool it.
Who are you talking to?
The
Oh,
dog.
What's it?
Talking to Shimp.
Oh, the
Okay.
archetype.
Where
You need
was
to cool out.
Cool out. Just cool out.
get to introduce
I can't get any colder. My cold is always a -1.
Volatile and loose. Let's see. Okay, loose cannon. Unpredictable loose cannon. Okay, unpredictable. Okay.
Sorry, mine was like apparently more cut and dry than your guys's.
I think
It
some of
literally
the.
had like the stat choices, and it was like,
Yeah.
you know,
Uh-huh.
calculating and venomous,
Yeah.
or seductive and spooky.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it has this
I
in.
assumed that everyone had something.
Mm-hmm.
They
like
don't.
that.
Yeah, they don't.
I
Which,
do.
Yeah.
You
You,
do?
oh, okay.
Okay.
So
But that just
segueing.
makes it harder.
Which one to go with? Okay,
All right,
so yes.
I'm my character's name is Nyx, Nix.
Uh-huh.
He's a hollow.
Okay.
His origin is that he was born of a wish. I'm gonna say that he's a child's imaginary friend come to life.
Oh!
So my look is disheveled.
Okay.
I have soulless eyes
Oh.
because I'm not really a person.
Oh man.
But I'm still torn between being a beautiful enigma or an erratic misfit.
Okay.
Like I could be like beautifully disheveled, or I could be erratic and disheveled.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough. As for the actual look, do you guys remember in like those 80s, 90s films where there was always the one character that was not white, but not specifically anything
Yes.
else?
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm imagining that's what Nyx is.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So in
it's
terms of
brunette.
like a female
Ambiguous
Colin
brunette.
Farrell,
Yeah.
this is like an ambiguously foreign male Ali Sheedy.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ambiguously.
You guys are amazing.
Male
You guys are
Ali
amazing. Holy shit.
So
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go with the beautiful enigma.
Yeah, do
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one. Yeah.
So
Oh
yeah,
my
hot 1,
God.
dark 2.
Okay. Okay. Holy smokes.
And then I'm if you're going to ask, I think he lives in the So the kid whose wish turned him into brought him to life. The kid's probably like rich. So he lives. So Nix lives in the summer house that the kid's family doesn't come to all that often.
Yes. Yes.
That's going to be a great hub for you guys.
Definitely.
A lot
Party
of
central.
things can go down there.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively. Okay,
Oh.
so we are.
Heyo.
Heyo. Okay. So wow, that's beautiful. Thank you for that. I'm trying to think of any questions because I will have more questions, but you've answered quite a bit. Okay. Renae, who are you playing?
Well, now my character's gonna be boring after.
No,
No.
not allowed.
Okay.
Not
Yep,
allowed.
That's right out.
So my character's name is Morrigan.
Okay.
She has a wrecked look,
Wrecked.
harsh
Love it.
eyes, and her origin is that she was sent.
By who?
Ah.
We don't know.
Just don't know.
She, her parents are Korean. She was born in Korea,
Okay.
All right.
but moved to. We're in the U.S., right?
We don't. Yeah, we are in the United
Okay.
States.
Yeah.
We'll establish that in
Okay.
just a sec. Yeah.
So, she grew up in the midst of Japanophilia. You remember the 80s?
Yes.
But she's Korean! So,
So she doesn't know karate.
no, yes! Wax on, wax off, no! And so, she's always had this,
Carrying that.
this, she grew up with angst, she grew up with anger at the West in general for, misinterpreting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, angry at the world.
So, yeah. So are you cruel or erratic or just
Yes,
affected of
cruel and
potential?
erratic.
Oh shit.
Volatile too. Cold one, yes.
Yeah. Cruel and
Yep,
erratic.
and so I'm not sure what the strings are, but
We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
can I go ahead and assign strings?
Not yet. We're gonna go through
Oh,
that
okay.
all together.
Okay, so I'm a ghoul.
Yes.
Yep.
What are you hungry for? Are you because the hunger can
Yeah.
take shape in a lot of different ways.
Okay.
And so I'm just curious what you are hungry
Vengeful?
for. Vengeance.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hungry Ghost.
What are you talking
pretty
about?
angry.
This is a brilliant character.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
My clothes are ripped just enough to offend.
Okay.
And
Nice.
one of you saw me die, so that has to do with the strings.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, I
in
know,
just
we'll
a
get
sec.
to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
But at the point that I died, my hair was a certain length, and now my hair only grows to that length and then breaks off.
Oh.
So it has this crazy frayed look to it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Pretty
and I only wear eyeliner on under my eyes to
Okay.
Make them
Yeah.
look even more
more angry, cruel,
angry
and
cruel.
yes,
Yeah, and
merciless.
your eyes are harsh. You said harsh
Yes.
eyes. Okay.
yeah. And so whatever I could do to emphasize
The
that.
harshness.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you're scary.
Holy shit! Okay, so we have a disdainful vampire. We have a seductive and spooky witch. We have a primal werewolf. We have a beautiful enigmatic hollow, and we have an angry, harsh, hungry for vengeance ghoul.
Yeah.
Holy shit! You guys are amazing. Okay. I want to watch this show. So,
You are.
yay! So, we will get more into the moves and strings and stats and moves and stuff like that because you guys, I think you're already kind of picking those things up. But we'll discuss them. All of this has to be explicit, so we're clear on what we are doing. But the main thing is where are we doing this? Where do you all live? And so this is part of the next phase of the process. So, I would like to create a setting with you all, and we're going to do that. Let me find where I need to do that. Because it's important to know where we are.
Isn't there a page number on the?
Yes, I'm getting there. Very slowly getting to the page. It's too far. Yeah, bookmarks haven't been my friend this time around, but I will review everything again as we delve deeper. Okay. Okay, so just a reminder that you're creating a teenage monster character. This is your main character. Your role is to play them with curiosity and fierceness. My role in the game is different. I'm the Master of Ceremonies, or the MC. I'll be playing all the side characters in the world, and I'll be your teachers, parents, classmates, and I'm helping to set up scenes and introduce twists. I play with different rules, but I'm here to help make your character story interesting. And another piece. Okay, so yes, we are establishing our setting. So here we go. So there are some things that you will probably need as your characters have different needs. And for instance, a werewolf might need a forest nearby. So that's important for us to do or not. It depends on what works. So at this point in time, let's see here. What does so Lucian, I'll start with you first. We're going to go around to establish where we are. What is spring like in the place where you live?
What is spring like? It's cold.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a long time for the leaves to come back on the trees.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very gray and windy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
It's the worst season of the year.
Okay. All right. Rodriga, what is your favorite thing about the place where you live?
I love that there's lots of nature.
Mm-hmm.
No matter where you go, all the neighborhoods have lots of trees. There are lots of parks. Everything feels more spread out than it really is.
Okay. So it feels sprawling, but natural. A natural sprawl. Okay. All right. All right. Colleen, what is your favorite thing to do in town?
I like to. I really don't like going into town, so.
So what do you like to do?
If I have to go into town, I really like climbing the signal lamps.
Okay. Uh-huh. Nice. So is there a lot of law enforcement around?
Not that I've noticed.
The
no.
presence? Okay.
And you would notice.
Oh, none.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is there a water tower maybe?
Yeah.
To climb up?
Yeah, sure. There'd be a water tower.
Okay.
That's pretty.
All right. Cool. So Nyx, what does the town smell like?
Smells like the sea.
Okay. How do you feel about that? Does it scare you? Do you enjoy it?
Being a teenager, I kind of, waver between the two extremes of being mystified by like the boundless, horizon of the ocean, and also kind of trapped by it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's both. Yep. Okay. All right. And Morgan, what's the racial ethnic breakdown of the town? I think that's something you might be acutely aware of.
Oh yes, there's just way too many white people.
Too many white people. All right.
Guys, are we living in Astoria?
That's what it's feeling like. It's feeling Pacific Northwest to me.
I'm getting that. Yeah.
Northwest, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
feeling that a little
Okay,
bit.
Yeah, definitely.
I could do that. Yeah.
Okay, possibility. Possibility. It also could be East Coast too.
Maine.
Yeah. Too many white people. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Gives me a lot to feed on, but still.
Oh yeah.
Well, speaking of food, what's the predominant cuisine that people are eating in this area?
Ooh. I don't know. Can I roll for that?
No, you have to think of it. I can come back to you. If somebody has
now
a thought.
that you said East Coast,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm thinking shrimp, lobster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Seafood.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's go with that
Okay.
then.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And okay, so let's see. Going back around, Lucian.
Everyone just tastes
Lucian.
like imitation crab. Everyone just tastes like imitation crab.
Oh, gross.
That's not too bad.
When you're hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Lucian, what is something that tourists, like if there's a touristy vibe, are there tourists that come to your town? Is it a tourist destination? And if so, what for? Yeah, actually, it is a tourist destination.
Oh.
So, what do people come to your town to?
They
to
come
see?
they come to tour.
Exactly.
They come to tour the waterfront because it was once an actual thriving, cannery and wharf, and it's been gentrified.
Okay.
So it's like shopping. It's like an outdoor mall. They redid the pier and turned it into a.
What's the theme? Like, what time period do they set it in? Like,
They're trying to evoke like the 30s.
30s. Okay.
Yeah.
Like a 30s like boardwalk kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Weird. Okay. Okay. All right. So Rodriga, what? How do you and your grandmother like maintain your sense of culture in this space?
We spend a lot of time cooking together. I spend a lot of time with her at home.
How do you access like ingredients that you need to make the right types of dishes?
We have to do a lot of substituting. There's some basics we can get, but fortunately she's got a pretty big cellar that has a lot of dried goods. We'll maybe go once or twice a year and really stock up in one of the bigger cities nearby.
Okay. Yeah. So how close is that city to where you live?
It's far enough to make it an inconvenient bus ride. Probably 3 hours away by bus.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Cool. All right. Cassidy, what is the like socioeconomic breakdown in this town, like based on where you're living? How does the town kind of sprawl contain like all of the different class dynamics?
That's a huge question.
I know.
I don't feel like answering it.
Okay.
Let me say that we've got the people who live and try and work in the town. They can't afford to live in the town anymore.
Okay.
So you're talking about Santa Fe, really. And then
Yep.
you've got people who come for tourists interests, and it's because it's beautiful here, and they buy the houses, and that's an important source of income for the city as well. I don't really know much about that. I don't really care much about that.
Okay.
Because I was raised by wolves.
I know. I know.
That's gonna be like a go-to.
I know. Yeah. So in terms of doing that, like I'm just testing to see like how much you know about the space that you're living in. So what is something that grounds you in this town and keeps you here? What keeps you in this town?
The impoverished community that lives on the outskirts.
Okay. And what's your connection to them?
I think I'm familiar with Rodriga's magic and what she's doing. It's the town. It wouldn't occur to me to actually go anywhere until I could feel something change in the ground, in the dirt, and that hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
So far in the springs, the tracks are good. I haven't been bothered too much, not too much trouble, but I could see that day coming, and when I don't think that far into the future.
Yeah. So do you feel like you live seasonally here, like season to season?
Tourist season to tourist season.
Yeah.
You do go to school here because that's the conceit.
Ultimately,
of the
you
game.
go to school, but still, I don't think
know how that happened.
But that wouldn't be the
Truant officer picked you
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Somebody would have had to
Yes.
put me into the system.
Absolutely,
somehow.
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. We can get into that
All right.
more because that's more character based. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think, but in terms of like what's actually really keeping you, like you feels keeping you here. School to me is incidental,
Sure.
at least.
Sure.
That's what I'm feeling so far. But you can change that too. Whatever makes sense for your character.
You know what? I've peed around the building a lot. So I kind of like going there.
Yeah.
There's some. We'll delve into why you like going to school.
And no one else has.
Yeah. You haven't
If
smelled
they
anyone yet.
had,
You
Yeah.
haven't.
we'd have a problem.
But I could definitely see you hitting the road during summer break. You know. Like,
Good to know.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it gets too hot.
All right.
It's muggy. The mosquitoes come out.
So, Nix, what is something about the town that you just fucking hate? You just don't like it.
What do I hate?
Cramps
about
your
it?
style.
Oh man. Let's see. Going off what Jen said, actually, I hate all the empty houses.
Okay.
Like, it's
And when are the houses the most empty?
you know, during the I have to say during like the spring season when it's when it's the worst here. So at the most miserable time of the year when the ocean feels the most constricting. I walk around like the upper class neighborhood that my wishmaker's family lived in, and like there's like hardly a sign of life.
Yeah.
There's also a scary potential for then how those are all going to be filled up with people eventually. Like that can be, it's like dormant.
I don't like to think about that because it also makes me think that like my kid's family won't be coming back.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Go.
How do you feel about your kid's family?
I don't like their family because they took the kid away.
Yeah.
But it's a driving need for me to meet my maker. So
Oh, I see.
yeah.
Here's some fun. Okay. All right. Cool.
So you were imagining it being as an adolescent,
I
and
think
the kid's still a kid.
I think the kid like imagined me as like their imaginary friend as they were very young and kind of kept aging
you've
me up
aged
and
up
aging me
together.
up. And then as like they kept putting me away more and more, I kept trying to mirror them. Yeah, and then just sort of I'm not sure what happened, but all of a sudden I was real,
Yeah.
and I was in an empty house.
Oh my
Oh.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yes,
All right.
that's beautiful.
I'm not ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, and the empty houses
emptiness.
reflect your emptiness.
Yeah, I'm hollow.
Recognition.
How you're feeling,
right.
yeah.
Empty chairs and empty tables.
Stop it. We'll get back to you, you freaking vampire. Trying to pull focus as usual with a random.
That's
freaking-
right.
Okay. So Morgan,
I haven't yet begun to pull.
I know. Morgan, what is let's see, think. Because I think what we're getting now, we're getting a lot about nature, about the breakdown here.
We need social stuff.
We will, yeah, we'll get into that. What's one of the main landmarks in the town that, not like the touristy things, but like it's a main focus. It's something maybe that's like in front of the school. It's something that is at the town hall. What is like a main landmark for your town?
For the town? Let's see the church.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the denomination? What's the denomination of the church?
Ooh. What are there?
There's a couple different ones,
Depends on
but
what coast we're on.
Yeah.
That'll kind of like indicate.
If we're in Maine, it could be like French Catholic people settled in this area.
Oh, yeah.
So it could be a Catholic church.
Okay, let's say that.
Yeah.
okay.
For maximum gothicness.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go.
Or what's the name of the
Yes.
church? Yeah. Well, what's the name of the church?
Ooh.
It has to be in
French,
French.
a French saint,
Oh, okay.
or it could be Our Lady of something.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it has to be in French.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're the only one who can do it, Renae.
We're
We're all
counting on
looking
you.
at you. Do it. Do the French thing. Do the French thing.
All right.
Say the
Okay.
words.
Notre Dame de. Okay. Notre Dame de Bras.
How do you spell that?
She said bra.
Yeah. That's where we get the word bra from.
Yeah.
Which means arms.
Oh, Our Lady of.
D-E-S. So Notre Dame.
Yeah.
D-E-S space. B-R-A. Bras.
Sauce.
Yeah. Bras.
So Our Lady of the Arms.
Yes. I don't know.
We
Yeah.
should see if we can come up with a properly, flippant and sacrilegious nickname for it, though. Like what all the kids call it.
Right. Because
Yeah.
they
Like
would.
there was a Protestant, it was like a Presbyterian church near where I lived as a in high school,
Let's see.
and it had a statue of Jesus going like this.
Oh no.
And so since his arms were up like this,
Yes.
everyone called it the Church of the Holy Touchdown. It's good.
Can we put an adjective for the arms? The arms could be
Ouvert. That's open arms.
open arms.
Okay.
Oh my god,
Thank
that's
you.
so scary.
I know. and Morrigan loves to hang out there
course.
because of her, very carefully ripped clothes that are very
Yeah.
meant to offend.
Yeah.
So I'll hang out by the doors. I'll just walk in.
I'm thinking there
sort of
might
like
be a
the
little
Highlander,
cemetery.
that-
There might be a little
you know what I
I'm just standing up on
mean?
the.
Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, here I am.
Just walk in. Yeah.
I'm picturing like there's a little mini cemetery on the side. of
Ooh,
the church.
yes.
Oh, for sure.
Ancient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll have that.
Oh, that might be the site where I died. Actually.
Make a note of that.
Yeah.
If you died at a cemetery, you'd be double dead.
Yeah, like double dead.
And on consecrated ground, too.
Yeah.
Oh.
So how?
Let's go super goth with this.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
No, this is
Oh,
dark.
yeah.
This is dark. So do we want to go? Do we want to go East Coast or West Coast?
I think we're East Coast at this
East
At
point.
this
Coast?
point, yeah, we're East Coast.
Yeah.
So it's in Maine.
Mm-hmm.
Cold Spring.
Yep.
Okay. And
Yeah.
Stephen King, eat your heart out.
how big
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
how big is the town, Lucian?
Oh.
Like, what's the
I guess it
population
depends
size?
on the season,
Right.
The tourist-
Right.
Yeah, so I think the
But like
core,
how much does it actually?
core population is about 50,000.
Oh, that's huge.
That
really?
is that is
No,
a lot
no,
of
no, no.
people.
Mm.
For an East Coast town?
That's a lot of people.
It used to be a busy,
That's
prosperous
true.
port.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how
It's
big?
much
Then
bigger.
trade
It's
died.
also
and
heavy
5,000
population
women.
density.
Yeah. How big is
love
it
it.
though? Like how
So
big?
wasted.
Not the people, but how much space does it take up?
Not that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
So,
small.
Yeah.
The town proper, though.
It's
I mean, there was
it's
a
small
mention of a
but
certain
natural.
sprawl.
Yeah.
Yeah, natural, but the nature kind of is part of this town.
We think though that it's being gentrified.
Mm.
I'm sure it's there's the town proper, which is shops and vacation houses, and then everyone else is living like around the edges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
In the
Push
infill.
back.
Yeah.
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 So this is an
Nowhere
East
with the
Coast
view.
coastal town.
Sorry.
No worries.
There's Prosecco outside if you want, if anybody cares to open it.
Oh, it's outside?
It's outside in snow.
Nice
It
idea.
wasn't cold.
Oh, I think
Yeah,
that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
What?
Kind of.
What's
I
Mine
going
is a
on?
yes.
I can grab it if you'd like.
I'll go for it.
Yeah.
Yay.
I've got the scarf, so.
Yeah, you do
To
what
the
you gotta do.
rescue.
All right. So let's see here. So
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Well, yeah. Maybe 30,000. Let's make it 30,000.
30,000.
Yeah.
Because we are talking back in time as well.
That as well. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of a good.
Yeah, we can do that.
Bangor is 31,000.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's no banger. We're no banger.
No.
We're no bangers, so this ain't
No.
banging.
But
But
are we the only high school in town?
I presume so.
That's a
Or is
good
there
question.
more than
yeah,
I think there's a rival high school. I
Oh.
think there's two high
Would
schools.
That's a
it be
good
down the
idea.
road a bit?
Yeah.
A bit?
Yeah, that's correct.
So
Take it.
they've established there's two high schools
Okay.
near each other.
Well, there's probably the private one that's down.
Right.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
private
yeah.
high school.
Oh.
Brick building.
Yeah,
With the,
private.
is the one with the
With the church.
Yeah.
The Catholic.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Private Catholic school.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
So
How does
the,
that taste, Lucian?
the Prosecco melted the snow, so I had to rebury it.
Oh, for Christ's sake!
We'll give it like another 15 minutes.
All right.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Oh,
so
some hot prosecco.
Yeah, I was like, we can't drink that.
all right. So we're gonna call, and you can. I'm gonna give you 3 options for the place name.
All right.
So we have Goldfield,
Sorry.
Rosedale, or none of those. Greycliff.
Great clip.
Great clip.
Gotta be great clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, are you all good with that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Greycliff.
Ooh.
No, are you? Yes.
So
Sounds
Yes.
creepy. I love it.
So Greycliff High School Lucian, what's the mascot? for
Yeah,
Grey Cliff
home
High
of
School?
the-
Home of the...
Home of the vampires, of course.
No. The Fighting Pines.
Yeah, right.
I was thinking fighting mackerel.
The fight.
The fight
I was thinking
mackerel.
something aquatic. Yeah.
Aquatic?
Let's see.
One of the Krabby Patties.
Actually, no. It's the Great Cliff gulls, seagulls.
Gold.
Oh, they're
Of course.
terrible. Oh.
Oh man.
So the mascot is this, horrendous,
Hideous
Gold.
gold.
Muscular seagull.
muscular seagull. Yeah.
Did they have one of those open
And-
helmets
Football
on?
cap.
No, it's got a little sailor's cap.
It's
Oh, of
John.
course.
Oh, it's worse.
The Popeye face with like the eyebrow up and like
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, is it still at the point where it can have a cigarette?
Maybe they graffiti that onto
Yeah,
the-
Yeah,
exactly.
it gets graffitied on.
Oh, that's what Renee's character does.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm up there like the busiest time of day, just going.
Magnus Morgan.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do
it
something.
has a turtleneck and a pea coat and a little sailor's cap, So, yeah.
If somebody wants to draw that, I will give you XP for that.
Do something.
Whoa! Oh, I'm on it.
Oh my gosh.
Spill her drink.
Oh,
I need the XP. She's going nuts.
Yep, here it comes.
Okay, so this is just giving us an overview of this. So we're dealing with an East Coast coastal town in Maine called Grey Cliff. It's a small town. There is a kind of a natural sprawl to the place. It's also a tourist destination for people to come. It's also been gentrified. Predominantly white.
Former fishing.
Former fishing hub
Right.
that has then been since created into a tourist waterfront.
Yep.
Basically, it's very difficult to access things if you're of a different ethnicity here. To
No
kind
kidding.
of, yeah, to really, feel like you are included in the community. The closest major town, is 3 hours by bus. People can't afford to live and work in the town, so they have to make a choice in terms of where they live. There's empty houses due to there being timeshares, I'm thinking, and also just rentals. There's a large Catholic church, Our Lady of the Open Arms. There's a little cemetery there and also a private high school that your school is rivals with. And your school is Grey Cliff High and home of the sassy seagulls.
No.
Yay.
And so as we go forward with this, we'll elaborate more on what this town is. But this is where we're setting our game.
Yep.
And so thank you so much for doing that. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I guess they're not wrong about the amount of time this takes to create. So let's see if there's anything with role playing. I'm wondering. Let me just look at this really quick. Well, we know how to do role playing, so we just want to make sure that this game is accessible and intelligible for everybody. So if you have questions, feel free to ask. Again, this is just something that we all want to contribute to. And if we're chiming in, it's not because we think you're not coming up with great ideas, but we're just wanting to make the story
We're riffing.
feral. Again, make the story
And judging.
feral.
No, just
And judging you. No, we want to make sure the characters' lives are not boring. We want to make sure the story is feral. We want to say what the rules demand and what honesty demands.
The section that talked about, because in the rulebook it expands on those goals. And
Which I can get into really quickly.
Yeah, I was just going to throw in what I liked about the expansion of the make the game feral is that what they mean is don't domesticate it. Don't let things get domesticated. Don't let things get too comfortable or just sort of.
No.
Let me find it.
Murder She Wrote happening on the
Well, that is happening somewhere.
somewhere in the town.
Yeah, Jessica Fletcher will have a cameo
Yeah,
at some
I
point.
remember.
Well,
So-
yeah, she needs to.
Yeah. She thought she was just going to have a quiet vacation down
Right.
the waterfront
Yeah.
at Grey Cliff.
Yeah,
I mean, yes.
but yeah,
So none of that then.
I know someone's gonna get killed.
Okay, so
Yep.
keep the
Yeah.
story
It's not
feral.
gonna be
So
us.
Nope.
the conversation that you have with other players and with the rules create a story that you couldn't have existed in your head alone. As you play, you might feel an impulse to domesticate that story. You form an awesome plan for exactly what could happen next and where the story could go. In your head, it's spectacular. All you'd need to do is dictate what the other players should do, ignore the dice once or twice, and force your idea into existence. In short, you'd have to take control.
Who does that?
The game loses its magic when any one player attempts to take control of the story. It becomes small enough to fit inside one person's head. The other players turn into audience members instead of participants.
Okay.
Nobody's experience is enriched when one person turns the collective conversation into their own private story. I mean, this is the philosophy of this game.
Mm-hmm.
So avoid this impulse. Let the story's messy, chaotic momentum guide it forward. In any given moment, focus on reacting to the other players. Allow others to foil your plans or improve upon them. Trust that good story emerges from wildness. Play to find out what happens next. Let yourself be surprised. So that's... Just want to make sure we're keeping that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're getting into moves and strings.
Yay.
Which is the fun part.
Huzzah.
Moves and strings.
Moves. Strings.
So during the scenes, we're contributing to this conversation. We're describing what your character's feeling, say what they say, describing their actions, how they move through the environment. It's fine to speak in first person. So, let's see here. So there isn't always a right move. I mean, sometimes you can't get what you want, and that's what's going to happen. Don't try to bend every situation to cram in moves. So, if your moves involve dice, it'll specify which of your 4 stats to use. Hot, cold, volatile, or dark. You're going to roll 2 dice and add your stat to the sum.
Mm-hmm.
So if your hot is 2 and you're asked to roll with hot, then you roll 2 dice and add 2. Like if you're hot.
Okay.
If you roll a 3 and a 4, then your final total would be 9 total. So the result of 10 or higher is good. A result of 7 to 9 is complicated. So we'll be able to play that out. And so if you roll a 7 to 9, I'm going to be asking you to make some hard choices or pay a price. But you'll probably still get what you want out of the deal.
Okay.
A 6 or less means you're unsuccessful, and I will introduce some unpleasant consequences. So moves emerge from the conversation, and the results of the move become part of it too. When something happens because of a move, I'll be going around and seeing, how things have changed, how do people feel about what just happened, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let's see here. So that's basically moves. So why don't we go around and just talk about our moves, specific
And strings as well.
moves and strings.
I don't want backstory.
Yeah, but I don't want to get into the strings right away.
All right, good.
Because I'm looking on the sheet actually, and so it looks like moves come after all of that.
Yeah.
So let's go into the backs. Okay, so let's go into our backstories.
Sure.
Okay.
So we're gonna go around and share about our backstories, and
Do you mind if I summarize how strings work?
I'll need that because all of my backstory is string related.
Yeah, mine as well.
yeah.
Everyone.
Okay, so let me.
Everyone.
So let's get. I'll get into strings. So
Very well.
strings represent the emotional power that you have over others.
Okay.
You gain strings on specific individuals and can spend them as a sort of currency during interactions with those folks.
Okay.
Strings-
So like puppet strings.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're like strings
Or
attached.
pull the string.
Yeah.
Pulling
Strings.
strings.
Or heart
Because
strings.
we're
Or
basically
heartstrings, yeah.
Yeah, or you view it like a web, right? So there's all these strings
Yeah.
weaving together to create this really interesting, complex web. You have access to some of those strings to pull on that web to make it move or to make it go a certain direction.
Okay.
So strings, you gain strings on specific individuals. You can gain strings on each other. You can gain strings on side characters that I create. And again, spending them as currency. Strings can be earned by turning someone on, shutting someone down, or in each way specific to each skin. So you should have specific moves and strings there that you're going to be enacting. Strings are abstract. They're reflecting a general shift in the power within a relationship. There's no specific response demanded when someone gains a string, other than playing your character with authenticity as the power dynamics are shifting. So like if somebody reveals that they have a crush on you,
Okay.
you would gain a string on them because you're like, I know you like me, so I
Yeah.
know I can use that later to my advantage. So let's see here. There's a space to keep track of your strings. It's on the character sheet. The best way to use that space is to list the other characters, and then whenever you gain a string on them, draw a little circle or a line or whatever.
So I give a string, and I also get strings as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
But you don't have to keep track of the strings other people have on you.
No, just
you
the
just keep
strings
track of the strings you have on other people.
that you're holding, like that you would be holding
Okay.
onto.
Okay.
Yeah. So like again, like so Jen, if somebody has a crush on your character, you would gain a string because you're like, I know that person likes me, and
But
I
I
could
wouldn't make that note. On the sheet.
You
That's
would make
right.
that note.
No,
I
you
would.
wouldn't. No, you wouldn't actually, because that's not a string you have. But if you were to, let me see here.
Well, like for example, there's the turn someone on move.
Right.
Okay.
And so if you did that on somebody and you turned them on,
Yes.
it says you gain a string on them. So then let's say you're trying to turn on Lou or whatever. And so you would write down Lou and then you put a little circle,
Little one.
a little or whatever. They recommend doing like an empty circle, and then when you use the string you black it in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So it doesn't really so much talk about gaining strings.
it
but
doesn't, it's not what we're
No, okay. So I'm fine. I know where that is. So let me just talk really quickly about spending strings.
Yeah.
So whenever you spend a string, there should be something in the fiction to explain the mechanical effect. So if you're adding a 1 to a roll against a person, you're wanting to spend a string on them.
Okay.
What's causing that? So do you utter some snide remark that throws them off balance? Are you tempting them to do your bidding? How do you use your emotional hold on them to do that?
Right.
Do you dangle a juicy secret in return for their obedience? Or does your seductive allure draw them in? Just think about how you got that string from that person.
On the player sheet here, it shows you pulling strings, and it tells you the 4 things that you can do with that.
Where is that?
Pulling strings.
Yeah,
on your
so-
player sheet. Yeah. Oh, I didn't have that.
Yeah. So you say, I'm activating my string, and I want to do one of these 4 things. Tempt them to do what you want. That's what Desiree was just talking about. You would have to explain how you're tempting that person. I might be offering Colleen some raw steak, for example.
Okay.
Then, or you can give them a condition, which we'll get to.
All right.
Or you can add 1 to your roll against them, or add 1 to the harm you deal to them if the string has to do with a way that you could, use it in a way that would harm them or add to your roll.
Okay, and this will become more clear as we're playing. Too.
Exactly.
This is a lot of information that we're dumping on you. So,
But it's important to know how they work.
yes,
Because
right. So let me just go.
we're picking up strings here.
So side characters, the characters that I create, can gain strings on you. And let me just explain that, and that might help to explain it a little bit better.
And we can have strings on each other or on side characters.
Yes. So side characters are basically NPCs.
Oh.
So, side character strings. So any character can gain strings. Strings always involve a main character. Side characters can't have strings on each other.
God forbid.
Yeah, no.
Then we can
So,
keep track.
so I am responsible to keep track of the strings that my side characters have on you. And then,
I think a lot of the sex moves give side characters strings on us.
Yeah, they do.
Mine certainly do.
Yes. So a side character having strings on someone means that you have emotional leverage on that person. So that's same for main characters. So if you have a string on someone, so like Cassidy has a string on Lucian, there's some emotional component. Colleen has a string on Lucian. There is a component there that there's an emotional leverage that you have on that person. That's the power dynamic there.
Yeah.
Spending one of those strings means you're cashing in on that emotional leverage in some way, right?
But then it goes away.
You spend them.
You spend them. Yes. Let's see here. So again, so spending strings, you can basically like a carrot and stick. Like if you do this for me, I'll do this for you because I know you like me, or I told you that secret and I told you I trust you to not tell anybody this.
Or I told you I was going to kick your ass.
Or I'm going to punch you in the face if you do X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is now 3:30 after school. Yes.
It's Scully the Seagull.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
With the cap.
Yeah, Scully.
And completely oversexed.
That's
like
perfect.
these
I know.
usually are.
Hyper masculine
Yeah, you
seagull.
got the eyebrows imagined perfectly.
That's brilliant.
That's pretty much
Doing the
what it is.
Heisman.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
so
so good.
It's like that's barely a bird anymore.
it's still recognizable.
So Renae, mark down one experience. Mark down one of your experience.
Yay!
Okay.
It's under arm.
Okay. So just mark a dot.
Mark
Yeah.
dot. Yep.
Yay!
It's barrel chested too.
Yeah.
So great. So great.
I'll post that with the.
So good.
The strings. I just want to make sure the strings thing is more clear.
Well, I guess as we play it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions in terms of right now? In
it
terms of
says
filling
you
in
lack
strings?
subtlety. Give a string to everyone.
Okay, so everyone has a string.
Everyone
on
has a
you.
string on Colleen.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
Because they just know
Because
that
I'm obvious.
you're just out there.
Yep.
You're smelly. You're feral and primal.
Yeah.
And
Why don't we
local.
go around your backstories?
So let's do that.
And if we have any
Okay.
questions as they
Okay.
come up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will go. We'll start with Lucian first. So make sure you write down everybody's names under the strings.
Okay, and we're marking how many strings we have on that person.
On that person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we,
these
we all
I'm
have
just
one on
doing it
Colleen
with
so far.
circles,
Yes.
Okay.
Little,
Yeah.
like how you mark the XP,
Oh.
right?
Okay.
So that you can do that, but also make sure you leave a little bit of space because there's going to be side characters,
Side characters as well.
that you will gain strings on.
That should
I'm
be
sure.
fun.
So, for example, with
So
me,
Lucian,
I am beautiful,
Yes.
so I gain a string on everyone. So I can use my beauty on any one of y'all to try and get what I want. Basically, you know.
Okay. So.
However,
Yes.
so I've already written all that in.
Okay. Good.
However, someone once saved my own life, and they gained 2 strings on me.
Oh.
Who did that?
So I'm thinking the witch.
Yeah. All right.
Sweet.
So Rodriga, how did you save? Or Lucian, do you know how she saved?
Well, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that with Lucian's, what is it, cursed blood, I'm thinking it is, vampirism is an STD,
Oh.
and it was passed on from his mother because she runs the local bordello. So he's actually very low class, right?
Bordello
And,
of cursed blood.
yeah, and so she's a vampire as well. So
There's a vampire bordello in town.
Yes. And
It's a tourist. What's it called? What's its name?
I don't know. I don't know if it would even have. Would it have a name?
I think it would have. I think it would. How else would you identify it?
That's true.
Name.
I was
Okay, I'll
al-
just put a question mark.
I was only asking directions to it so I could learn how to get away from it.
Oh my god! All right. So this is
Yeah,
the.
I'll
okay.
think about that.
Okay.
I'll think about that, yeah. But I'm thinking it's like it's not like, you know, there's
It would
nothing.
have a code name.
There's nothing savory about it. You know, it's very funky. You know, and
There is no name.
there's no, yeah, or it's just like it's one of the
have a
motels.
code.
It's one of the downtown motels.
Right. Yeah.
It's a flop
It's a
house.
Motel 6.
Yeah, yeah.
What would
Oh,
it be?
maybe she manages a Motel 6. That would be cool.
Write it down.
Yeah, out on the highway.
Maybe it's Motel 666.
Oh my god. Yeah, Motel 6 out on the highway into town.
On Highway 66.
Ooh, there we go.
Or it could be the Red Roof Inn.
Yeah.
Just so much you can do with colors. And
Yeah.
colors.
All right. So anyway, so I don't know how your witchy powers. Maybe the STD is deadly under certain circumstances, or you know, it can like get out of control or metastasize in some way.
This
You
sort of
know.
awful rash that
Yeah.
we've waited for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe it makes you look more
Like,
ghoulish. Maybe it makes you
yeah.
look more vampire-like.
Yeah, or it's often fatal, you know. Or
Oh.
I mean, technically I am
Save your
dead,
own life.
but yeah, I am dead technically, but
I think it would make your features more vampiric.
okay,
It's just a thought.
yeah.
Well, it's a way to keep
Like the ears
Buffy out of
and
your
then-
face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like more
Feral?
demonic looking, feral,
Feral, yeah.
but more like the rat teeth. And,
Yeah.
Pale?
paler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hairy palms. and-
Yeah, just long claws and like really just fucking gross.
Yeah.
Like,
Cheekbones.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that look all over.
Yeah. Yeah.
like the OG Balkan vampires.
Yeah!
Just
There
these
you go.
swollen,
Yeah.
you know, corpses that are
Just
just walking
awful.
around.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not
You're
good.
gonna fall out and then making you
Yeah.
a tonic that helps you.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Nice. Keep that mullet intact.
Yeah. Maybe you're
That's why
still
it's
doing
still
it.
business in the front. And
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. But maybe you're still doing it. Like you're supplying me with this.
Ongoing.
The herb.
Right? Yeah, and if I lose that supply, the
Ooh,
generation
that's a hell of a
kicks in.
string, man.
Yeah,
You
well,
sure
it's
about
2 strings.
Two strings.
She gets 2
Wow.
strings on me. So,
Damn.
yeah.
It's
I
one
love
of your
it.
potions.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the
That's
other
it.
strings? That's just one thing.
I get a string on
You're
everybody because
beautiful.
I'm beautiful. and then she gets 2 strings on me.
Nice.
So I do not mark those 2 strings, right?
Yeah.
She marks them.
She marks it. Yeah.
I keep that in my head, like, oh yeah, she's got 2 strings on me.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So Rodrigo.
Or I don't, I forget. And then she goes,
Oh,
you know what? I've got a string on you. You're like, ah!
Son of a bitch.
Because you're arrogant enough to forget.
Right.
Look at this hair on my pillow.
Yeah.
All right.
But like, for just as an example, working
go.
example,
Yeah, go.
like add 1 to the harm you deal them. That could be if you pulled the string to be like, I'm not going to give you your fucking tonic.
Oh, shit!
You know, right?
shit.
Whoa!
Right?
I love it.
That would be an
yeah.
example. Or you could use it to tempt me, like if you want your tonic, you'll do it. I'm asking for. You
Which
know.
could be.
Do you have in mind like any particular physical symptoms of vampirism that we're warding off?
Yeah.
I am purposely avoiding blood drinking with my moves. I will get to moves, but I'm avoiding all the ones that involve blood drinking. So I don't know yet.
Okay.
Yeah, if you
Just
want to
curious.
throw ideas out there,
I
I'm
was just
totally
imagining,
receptive.
like, in terms of. Okay, well, so segueing, because mine is, in addition to strings, I also get sympathetic tokens from all of you,
Oh.
which is a literal physical object
Oh,
that I can use for hexes.
Oh,
So do you have that? You have that on everyone, right?
So I start
Yeah.
the game with 2 sympathetic tokens,
Oh.
but I get to decide whose and what they are.
Okay.
Oh,
So
nice,
who is it and what are they?
Yeah.
So, hold on. Let me think. I think it makes sense that one of them would be Lucian's.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
For these 2, so I'll have 1 token and 1 string.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was trying to decide. I was like, I wonder if it would be something like material and yours, like, I don't know, you're lighter. Or it's something more like a hunk of your hair that fell out.
I was wondering if his
Sample of
fangs
his
fall
blood.
out
Or
sometimes.
something like that.
Do your
Or
fangs,
like,
do
I
your
helped
teeth
you
fall
I
out?
lost my baby fangs.
Mm-hmm.
Or like maybe I helped you pull your teeth because you don't want to drink blood.
Yeah.
A tooth.
That works.
Okay.
A tooth.
Whoa.
Oh, you 2 are intimate now.
I
Huh?
know.
And
Man,
then
we'll
my
see.
other one is Colleen. I have a rabbit skin that you left on our property.
Ah, boops.
You didn't
Maybe it
clean
could have
up
been
too well.
it could have been a romantic token.
Could have been a gift. Who
Okay,
knows?
so
Yeah.
those are my,
That's what cats do.
2 chosen.
Okay.
Oh my god, what if I did that?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
Yes.
one of the others caught me rummaging through their friend's stuff but hasn't said anything, and they get a string on me.
Who? Okay, so who caught Rodrigo rifling through one of your friend's things like at a party?
Oh, rifling through things?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I thought you said
Like
trash.
purse?
Go
Okay.
through their stuff.
I mean, the party.
Okay.
If the party was at my house,
Okay.
Well, you would know.
Did you caught Rodrigo?
I don't know. It's. I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the party was at Nix's house.
Yeah.
It was one of your friends'
Mm,
things, like their bag or purse or backpack.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who caught her?
Huh.
I think you would be more socially aware about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I
Would it
feel
be-
like.
or who- But would it be her bag?
Or I saw her in someone else's bag.
Yes.
Yeah.
someone
Right,
else's
Someone
yeah.
bag.
We're-
caught her. Yeah. Okay. Does
So
it-
you
maybe it
caught
was-
you so
Maybe it was
so-
my bag.
Ooh!
Morgan.
I have a crush on one of you. Can I just say?
Yes.
Okay, I have a crush on you.
Oh.
Oh boy.
And maybe could it have been Lucian's bag?
Oh,
Yeah, I was like hanging around it, you know, and then Rodrigo's like,
Yeah.
Oh.
That's even better. You,
Yes.
you were dropping it off. You assumed she was rifling, right?
yes.
But she was dropping something off in the bag during the
exactly.
And
party.
there's no way you could explain your way out of that because
No.
that's the classic excuse.
Right.
No, I was putting something in the bag.
Right, yes, no.
I wasn't taking anything out.
So Lucian, you don't. So Morgan, does Lucian know that you like him? He doesn't have to.
What does
Well,
it specify?
I'm giving Lucian a string.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe
So
you
yeah.
do know.
Yeah.
Can I read it to you?
Yeah,
Or
go
you
ahead.
tell me?
Yeah.
Someone reminded you what love was when you thought that death had stolen it away from you forever.
Oh, that's so impossible though, because he's a vampire.
But she's so beautiful. All right.
Right.
That is so fucking depressing. Okay.
Isn't it?
I love it. It's perfect.
That's my
Thanks.
line. Or death
That's my undead. It's my
This is why I
unlife.
hate everyone.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. Okay. All right, we'll get back to your strings in just a second. Okay. So Rodrigo, those were the.
Those are mine.
Okay, those are yours.
Okay.
Okay. So Colleen.
Okay, it says, I lack subtlety. I give a string to everyone.
So everyone
Mark
has
that.
a string on.
Okay, second
on Colleen.
point. I spent weeks watching someone from a distance.
Ooh.
Like I do. Their scent and mannerisms are unmistakable to me now. I gained 2 strings on them.
Oh.
I'm guessing it's Nyx.
Oh.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Because he moves at a different speed as everyone else.
And the smell.
He has none.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is
Whoa.
That's beautiful.
Most people in
Yes.
this town smell like Prel, and
Right.
he doesn't smell like
Yeah.
Prel and
Rotting
imitation
meat.
crab.
Ooh.
Oh,
But
All
Nyx
right.
doesn't smell like anything.
I want to smell that, and yet I don't.
Yeah. Interesting. So okay, so that
absence
is
is
the
overpowering,
absence of
you know?
smell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. Wow, that's just blowing my mind. Okay, so what is the next? Is there another?
That's it. I just got the 2. Everybody gets a string on me, and I got 2 on Nyx.
Okay, that's beautiful.
All
Is
right.
there anything else you want to elaborate on that, or are you good? You're good.
I'm satisfied.
You're good. Okay. Good. All right, Nyx.
Okay, so I've been taking my social cues from someone, and doing so has taught me a lot about them. I gained 2 strings on them. So, it's between you two.
Yeah.
Social cues.
I'm no
Yeah.
role model.
What are
But
you
that's
talking about?
see,
You're-
but it's
I don't
fascinating
know.
too.
It's disaffected youth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's true.
Well, you're both kind of like incredibly like you both have like positive hot values.
Yeah,
right?
seductive,
Yeah.
spooky
So
vibes.
I've been
Yeah.
trying to like take that cue from either of you for that. So
Who's got the highest hot, by the way?
Yeah.
That's 1.
Mine's 1 as well.
yeah, and I've got one as well. So
Okay.
it's
Wow.
kind of a
I
it's
don't
kind
even
of
have
a
hot. I have volatile.
yeah.
Well, so if you look on the bottom here, there's like the 2 tracks, and based on which ones
Yeah.
you like,
You choose one of those
Pick
2
one.
tracks at the bottom.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
my hot's -1 then.
Okay.
Damn.
So I feel like I would take them from Lucian because he is potentially cis white male, and that's
Yeah.
I think what like my
Oh, yeah.
wish maker was.
Yeah.
So
Feels familiar, or you want to be like that?
I just want to emulate that, and
Okay.
like maybe that's the closest that I'll get to like what my my wishmaker's name is Nicholas, hence my name is Nyx.
Nyx.
I love it.
Um,
Oh wow.
So
Shit.
so yeah, I'm thinking like he's going to be the closest to emulating what Nicholas would be
Proxy.
like acting like right now.
That's awesome.
So
Does Nicholas go to the high school? Does
No,
he go to the
he's-
private high
he's
school?
out of town.
He's a visitor from
As far
outside.
as we know.
his
Right.
family
As
has
far as
moved
we know.
away, but they
Yeah.
keep the house as a summer home.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're waiting for that.
Trying to
So-
find little
Have you
catches
seen
here.
him?
What's that? The last time I saw him?
Yeah.
God, like right as like adolescence was like,
Like right before you enrolled in high school?
no, probably it would have been. I was probably like wandering around for about like 2 years before I got, like I realized that people look at you weird if you're not in high school.
Right.
And then I think I just kind of like assumed his identity in this high school.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
All right, so I get 2 strings on Lucian.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man. Damn.
Yeah.
However, someone has seen through my invented past and realized it's all lies, and they gained 2 strings on me, and it was gonna be Colleen.
Really?
But
but you already got 2 strings on me.
right.
Well,
So make it 4 strings.
yeah, exactly. So go there and
controls you,
make it
yeah.
happen.
Could be Morgan. Morgan would be a
What feels right for the story? What is
Yeah, I don't
what is
know.
honesty? What does honesty demand?
I feel like it would be Morgan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Morgan being like sort of the
Yeah.
Observer.
She sees
Exactly.
a fraud.
She
She knows a
sees-
fraud.
she sees
Oh, yeah.
through
You know
things.
what living people look like, and you know that I'm faking being
Yeah.
like a living human.
You don't spark my hunger at
Yeah.
all.
Oh!
Yeah.
So you get 2 strings on me.
All right.
Oh wow.
He's just an otter pop.
Yeah. All sugar,
So
no
ace.
fruit filling.
Yeah. And such a disappointment.
Yeah, you
You're
think, you think it's going to be satisfying.
Right. The right colors
Just
just
isn't.
It's really nothing. It's colored water.
Yeah.
Weird. Oh, it's really great. I can't top any of this.
You don't have to.
I know, I love it. This is so good. All right, so Morgan, what are your strings?
Okay, so we already know about one.
Got the crush.
Yes, the crush.
Oh, that's right.
And the next one, did anyone watch you die? If so, you gain 2 strings on each other.
On each
On
other.
each other?
Yeah.
That bond, baby?
Who watched? Yes. Who watched Morgan die?
Well, let
in
me
the
tell you the
cemetery?
story.
Please do.
Yeah.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, so it was at night, and I was wandering around the church, seeing what I could defile.
Like you do.
Like you
So
do.
matter of
Right.
fact. Yeah, you know.
You know.
And then I heard growling all around me in the dark. And out of nowhere, a pack of wolves came and tore me apart.
Roving wolf pack.
Tore out my throat. Yep. Tore out my heart. And the whole time, Colleen watched it happen.
Oh, of course.
I gotta beat your toe, man.
Yeah. It's the party line.
And so she has 2 strings on me, and I have 2 strings on her.
All right.
Yeah, why would that be? I guess because
Well, you.
she knows how I became a ghoul.
Yeah.
In a way, yeah.
Like
okay.
the fact that like she saw you die,
Yeah,
and there you are again.
Yeah.
You've appeared again. You're
Yeah.
back in school.
she knows.
Well, that's why I would have it on her,
Yeah.
but she would have it on me.
Because
Because you
you
did
did nothing.
Oh.
And
no.
so she
It
has.
didn't even occur to me to do anything.
Right. She
I'm
has
entertaining.
the
I'm
leverage.
supposed to do something?
Yeah.
I'm not running for office.
Well, yeah.
It's like, you sat there and watched me eat that hamburger. It's like, yeah, so.
I'll do it again.
Yeah. Exactly. But there's something that you know that.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
Bubbly is being.
Oh wow,
Administered.
bubbly.
So that basically is what
Messy.
happened. So yeah, so she knows that about you, that you're part of that wolf pack. She knows like your secret,
Yes.
like you're part of them.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She knows your secret.
Yep. Haha.
No.
Your character secret, Jen. Don't worry about it. All right.
Secrets? What?
So,
The point of this game is to reveal real life secrets.
No one is allowed to leave this room.
all right. So those are backstories. Those are your strings. And we can go into moves now, I think. Let me just double check here. Yes, moves. Yes, we'll so
Okay,
you've
I see
chosen
what
your
you're saying.
stats. So I think let's just really make sure we're clear on what your stats are. So, Lucian, what are your stats?
Hot 1. Cold 2.
Ooh.
Volatile -1. Dark -1.
Interesting.
Although I'm going to choose a move that's going to give me bonus dark on certain situations. But we'll get to that.
We will get to that. Okay. I know. Son of a bitch! Alright, so he is so again, you are disdainful. You're a disdainful little vampire.
Yeah.
Living in great.
Insouciant, you might say.
I know. Alright, so Rodrigo, what are your stats?
Mine are hot 1, cold -1, volatile -1, dark 2.
Seductive and spooky. Alright, Colleen.
Hot 1, cold -1,
Okay.
volatile 2, dark -1. Makes me a loose cannon.
Loose cannon. Alright. And
Alright.
Nyx.
Nyx is hot 1, cold -1, volatile -1, dark 2, which makes me a beautiful enigma.
Yes.
I love it. Okay.
Right. Hot -1, cold 1, volatile 2, dark -1, and that means I'm cruel and erratic.
Alright.
God, I love her.
Okay. Amazing. Okay.
I'm the coldest guy in the group.
Oh wow.
You are. Which
Totally
makes
are.
sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Alright, so now let's talk about our moves.
Room temperature, baby.
So, that's right.
According
so,
to this, you should be dead, but sure.
Sure, you're fine.
Oh, man.
You're doing great.
Oh, no. Okay. So with moves, let me just get to my little move section here.
While she's looking that up, I'll just briefly mention Darkest Self comes up at certain times as a result of certain moves.
Yeah.
And it's a flip that happens.
Yeah.
So if you give into your darkest self, that like fundamentally changes how you play your character, and then you can try and get it back. You know, get out of it. Conditions are kind of like strings in that it's more freeform, but like you could pick up a condition like like what I said earlier, like if you get in a fight with somebody and that person's like, "You're dead meat," you would pick up the dead meat condition, and then right.
But I really am though.
Right. Again,
Yeah.
I'm eating the hamburger.
Or like,
what are you gonna do to me?
another example of the book is nerd. Nerd could be a condition.
Yeah.
It's like tags. It's like you get a tag for your
that-
character.
And
And
you
other
can-
people can claim tags on you.
Yeah.
to
Right,
exist.
and then you can
Yeah.
alleviate your you can alleviate that condition.
You can
by
you can
doing
try and
something.
get out of it.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right, I have a weird one which we can discuss when it gets to mine.
Okay. So moves. I am.
Yeah, I have a move that's very munchkin-y.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
All right.
It's,
So.
It allows me to swap 2 of my stats permanently if I succeed at a skill roll.
Holy
What?
shit!
But like it's only like practical to like one of my stats.
Okay.
I could
so,
change my volatile from -1 to a 2, and then that would be done. That move would be like done.
Wow.
Oh my god. Okay.
All right.
So moves basically are the rules for doing particular things, and mainly involve dice rolls once they kick in. There's basic moves that every main character has, and again, those are turn someone on, lash out physically,
Okay.
and there's also the moves that are specific to each skin. So
Well, there's more than just those two.
Shut
Just for
someone down.
completeness sake.
what?
Turn someone on, lash out physically, shut someone down,
Oh
run
yes.
away.
I'm sorry.
Right. Okay.
Keep your cool, gaze
Right.
into the abyss.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Those are the
okay.
main.
So those
okay.
are
God
all...
damn it! This the way everything's
You're doing
written.
great.
Yep.
Thank
all is
you.
Well.
You are. You're working, like I said earlier. It's yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure that
working
this is
fantastically.
clear. Oh, thank you.
So
Wow, beautiful.
One thing that's interesting.
Make you a screen that has our
Yeah, our
sheet
player
in
sheets
it.
on it.
Mhm.
That'd be
I
handy.
have, yeah, there's
just
a lot
wanna
I'm keeping
hide
track
behind
of
the
right
screen.
now.
Yeah.
So that's a good idea for the future. I'll definitely down for that.
One thing that's interesting is lash out physically and run away. Both are based on volatile.
Mhm.
So you can use your volatile to kick ass or get the hell out.
Right. That
Fight or
makes
flight.
sense.
Fight or
Yeah,
flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, no, there's the parts where they say things are, they're
Yes,
not always
exactly.
there.
Exactly.
So,
There's
so
a lot
thank you
of
for refreshing.
implicitness.
Yeah, thank you for refreshing that. So,
Each move goes off of one of your stats. you know.
Yes.
So turn someone on goes off of hot.
Right.
Shut someone down goes
Well,
off of cold.
okay, yeah. So let me just look at this reference sheet because I have it up here really quick. Okay.
Oh, you got it.
Sure.
Yes, I do.
I wasn't
Okay.
sure how much it would fizz up, so.
Yeah. No, it's hard to put in one.
So yes.
Yeah.
You know what bad I am.
So turning someone on. So when you turn someone on, you
That's
roll with
perfect.
hot. On a 10
Yeah.
and up, you gain a string on
You will
them,
it.
and they choose a reaction from below,
Ooh,
which is
thank
they
you.
give
Yes.
themselves to
Just
you.
a little, a smidge.
They promise you something that they think you want,
Mm.
or they get embarrassed and act awkward.
Mm-hmm.
If you shut someone down, that's cold, as you were mentioning before.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Keeping your cool is rolling with cold. And then lashing out physically is volatile. Running away is volatile. Gazing into the abyss. That I'm really looking forward to. But
Mm.
there may be times where you're having introspective brooding time.
Yeah.
And so we will have a conversation about that. And we'll talk about what that abyss looks like for you. It's different for every character.
Or the example they give in the book, which is a lot of fun,
Mm-hmm.
is if you had a mortal, if we were playing a mortal.
Uh-huh.
It's the inevitable scene where the mortal girl is like, oh, he's so dark and mysterious, but it's so strange. And then she goes on the internet and does all these searches, and it all comes up vampire. You know, that's an example of gazing into the abyss.
Okay.
You know,
So there's something there?
like
Yeah.
you get knowledge when
Oh!
you gaze into the abyss.
Yeah.
So, but it can take any number of forms. So
Okay.
it
Right.
could be,
It'll be different for every single one.
it
of
could be
them.
I like it.
looking
Oh, I
into a
like it.
bubbling
You're-
cauldron.
So
or-
Colleen's abyss is different from Rodriguez's abyss is
Yeah,
different
yeah.
from Lucian's. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then
Could be a mushroom
experience.
trip.
So and another thing to think about is when you fail a roll, mark your experience because we learn from our mistakes, right? We learn from
That's
like
the
a
funniest
hard.
part of this whole thing.
I know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, even bad rollers like me can still succeed.
power up.
Huzzah.
Can do.
Be like a level 10 hollow by the end of the first
The first session.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready. Okay. So
Goddamn power game. Find the game that rewards bad rolling.
right.
That's me.
So let's see here. So these are the main moves.
Right.
So hopefully those are clear.
And then we all supplement it with our.
The two
So
moves
our
we choose.
specific,
Yeah.
customized moves. So Lucian, what move or moves? You only pick one move, right?
Some pick one, some pick two.
Okay.
I get to pick two.
You get to pick two, and then also
Okay.
share your sex move too.
Oh, sure.
Oh my god.
All right.
Yeah.
There are sex moves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to know these things.
It is. It is.
Okay, go on.
Alright, so vampire moves. So as I alluded to earlier, there are some that like are very much like vampire-y, like you feed on blood, or you can't enter a house unless you're invited.
Right.
I'm not about that on life.
What are you about?
Not about that life.
On life.
So I'm taking cold as ice.
Okay.
When I shut someone down and roll 7 or higher, I may choose an extra option from the list.
Which is what? What are those options?
Shutting someone down
Oh, shit.
rolls with cold. And so I choose... Normally I choose one from below, but I get to choose 2. I can make them lose a string on me.
Oh.
If they have no strings on me, I gain one on them.
Oh.
They gain a condition.
Oh my god.
Or I take +1 forward. I don't know if you all remember +1 forward from Night Witches.
Yeah.
It's like basically it's a floating +1 bonus that you can apply to anything.
Oh, okay.
That's a
later on.
good one.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So if you
that's-
were just like really you just basically dress this person down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I
And
can
humiliate
shut
them,
I can
or
just
shut
be
them
like,
out,
yeah,
or just
like
blank them, or
blank.
shun them.
I
or-
think it's just blanking. Yeah. Just
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
you know.
Exactly, because your own worst critic is yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you give no feedback, they just have to give their own.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
like Freudian therapy. They just keep talking, and then I'm just staring at them. You know, it's like
You're
it's
just seeing right through them.
It's my clothes, isn't it? No, it's my hair. Oh.
That's how I smell. It's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
It's my breath or whatever.
Say
something.
All right. Anyway, and then
I'm scared. Okay, go on.
Give me that X.
Yeah, the extra.
and then I think. Yeah, I'm gonna take Inescapable for right now. It's between these two. There's one called Marked for the Hunt, but that's more about like having that sort of vampiric bond with your one true love, so that you can know where they are at all times, kind of thing.
You don't like that?
I do, but it's like it's been there,
Not-
done.
it's
Well,
done?
I'm gonna let that develop, and then
He may meet
because
someone.
when you get XP, you can mark more moves.
At this point,
Right.
we don't know.
Oh, you
So
can mark
I'm
if there's a
saving Marked
point.
for the Hunt
Yeah.
for a little later.
Okay.
You know, but that I was saying earlier, that would give me effective Dark 3 if I roll Gaze into the Abyss on that one person. So,
Okay.
anyway, I'm going to do Inescapable. When you may spend a string on someone to demand that they remain in your presence.
Oh.
If they still walk out on you, gain 2 strings on them.
Oh
Wow.
So you're like dominating the person, like you have to keep talking to me, even though.
It's like a Svengali.
Don't walk away from me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, don't walk away from me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rough.
they
Shutting
feel
someone down,
compelled.
making them stay in front of you and keep
Yes.
talking.
So he's the manipulative vampire.
Yeah.
Yes!
The
Oh,
control
man.
Werner
vampire.
Erhardt.
Yes.
Ugh. All right, cool. All right, Rodrigo, what are your moves?
Wait, sex
Oh
move.
wait, sex move.
Oh, sex move.
Sex
Oh, this is the best part. When I deny someone sexually, I gain a string on them.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Because they just want you so bad, right?
And if I do give in and have sex with someone, I lose all strings on them.
That's
Oh.
right. Because they know what you really are.
Yeah.
Gross.
So I am a power bottom.
Lucy and the power
Takes some
bottom.
time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
Note. Making a note.
Oh,
It's true
man.
though.
It
All
is.
right. That's ridiculous. It's a perfect interpretation of that. Okay, so all right, Rodrigo.
Goddamn vampire.
Alright.
I know.
So I
Every time.
automatically start with 2 moves.
Okay.
One is sympathetic tokens.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
gain power from items of personal significance taken from others, and they count as strings.
Okay.
And the other one is hex casting. So I can cast hexes.
Yes.
I choose 2 that I know for now. To cast them, I either expend a sympathetic token during a secret ritual, or I meet the target's gaze and chant at them in tongues, and then roll with dark.
All right.
So the hexes I have are wither. My grandmother is all about healing.
Yes.
And so I can hex to make people lose all of their hair, their teeth start falling out, their period arrives unexpected and heavy, or their skin gets all sickly yellow or spotty.
Don't tell you
Whatever the
that.
specifics, it's bad.
Yeah.
And then I chose Ring of Lies.
Ooh.
Whenever a person attempts to lie, they hear a piercing, ringing noise. Big lies will often make their knees buckle and disorient them. Severe lies can cause harm and even brain damage.
Wow, that's gonna be good.
That's not good for me.
That's not good for me
Better not get hexed.
I know.
either. Yeah, I know. I'm living a lie.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Every time roll call, just
Yeah.
Oh.
I do have to hex you in order
Right.
for it to take effect.
Yeah.
when does it
Alright.
stop taking effect?
It actually doesn't say that.
How many rounds or no?
No, it doesn't specify at all. All it
Hex
says
forever.
is if I oh, here it is. I'll have to choose to reverse it.
Oh.
On a 10 and up, the hex works and can easily be reversed.
Okay.
On a 7 to 9, it works, but I choose one. It does me one harm, it has weird side effects, or it triggers my darkest self.
There you go.
Okay. Which we'll get into the darkest self.
Darkest self.
And then my sex move is
Yes.
that after sex, I can take a sympathetic token from them.
Oh,
They
yeah.
know about it, and it's cool.
And it's cool.
We're cool.
Hey, baby, I want you to have my Zippo.
You're like, thank you. Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Rodrigo. All right, Colleen.
Or a mixtape.
What are your moves?
I get 2
It's
moves,
usually mixed
two
data.
moves. Okay.
and I think that I have one that's useful, and then okay.
Well, we'll see. We'll
But
see.
one of them is regarding my darkest self,
Okay.
Yeah.
but we haven't gotten to that part yet. It says it's left up to individual groups to decide if I can do this darkest self thing.
Oh.
Okay, so let's
Whoa.
let's
Shelve that
talk
for
about
the-
your darkest self.
All right, my darkest self is the question is, can I transform into the form of a wolf when not my darkest self?
When not your
When
darkest
not
self.
my darkest self, can I transform? What is the nature of my wolfiness?
Right.
Okay. What do y'all think?
Do you have a preference?
No.
Like full wolf?
Yeah, wolf.
wolf. Turn
Well-
into the wolf creature.
Well, I think,
Oh, the wolf creature, not like
Yeah.
full on wolf.
Well,
Or are you thinking more old school lycanthropy where you are just literally become a wolf?
like depending on the moon or something.
Yeah.
Is that or
Or maybe
So
your
it
darkest self
says-
is you turning into an actual wolf and
Well, it
you
sounds
wolfing
like
out
it's-
is like half is like wolf man.
Well, this says
that
so
could be good.
It says here the darkest self is you transform into a terrifying wolf creature.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be the larger, I would say the.
So you would be the Garo form.
Yeah,
the
the,
wolf man.
large
Be like a
wolf, the
dog
human
man?
wolf. Yeah, the human wolf hybrid that's a little bigger than an average human,
Right.
but wolf-like.
Yeah.
Then-
Soldiers.
yes.
Yes. All right. So,
So-
that's my
so
darkest
that's
self.
your darkest
but
self.
The question is, can I
Can you do that?
transform when not my darkest
not your
self?
darkest
That's
self.
up to us.
Yeah, that doesn't
Is
get
that
triggered.
a feature?
Maybe
What
into
do
like
y'all-
a regular wolf?
No, I think no. The wolf creature, just period.
It's wolf
Okay.
creature or
period
not.
or nothing.
All right.
Okay.
So can you transform when your darkest self is not triggered?
Right.
Right. This is the
Basically, not
question.
under duress. You
Right.
can just transform whenever.
Right.
Do you
Is
all
that
want
gonna
that
be
option?
useful or no?
Do you want that option?
And that's basically what I assumed.
I was kind of going with
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I
Assume
thought.
that
that
was a
you
feature?
can
Okay.
do
that
that.
that was not a bug.
Yeah.
It's a
yeah,
feature,
All
yeah.
right.
I thought you sort of changed whenever you were with your family.
Pack?
Your pack.
Well,
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or
Then it wouldn't have
you
to be
know.
my darkest self to be with the family.
Right. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, that makes sense. That
Okay.
makes sense.
There
So
you
you
go.
can transform whenever you want.
Right.
So then your darkest self, you just can't change back,
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're,
trapped.
you're a wolf monster all the time.
which is the nightmare.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. So all right.
It says you escape your darkest self when you wound someone you really care about, or the sun rises, whichever happens first.
Oh wow.
Mm.
all right.
Okay. So you picked. So what?
That did
was
not involve a pick.
Oh, okay.
There was a pick.
You just need to establish that first.
Okay.
Right. There was
Okay.
a pick that was possible.
Okay.
All right. So heightened senses.
You're going with that one.
I'm going with that one. It
Okay.
says, when I rely on my animal instincts to make sense of a charged situation, I roll with dark. On a 10 or up, I can ask 3 questions and take one forward. On 7 to 9, I can ask 1 question and take one forward.
Okay, it's one of those.
Yeah,
questions.
it's one of those questions.
Okay, it's one of the ones where you like have question options that you can ask me, the MC,
and
like,
you
hey,
have
so
to
what's the
answer
best
honestly.
escape
Right.
route?
Yeah.
Which
You know, who's, what's the secret weakness?
Yeah.
Who poses the biggest threat? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
so that, and I get to pick another one.
Yes. Okay. Yes. You said heightened senses.
I have heightened senses. I think because I am a loose cannon, I'm going to take primal dominance. When I harm someone, I take a string on them.
Oh. Wow. So
So we've got a primal dom, and a power bottom so far.
We don't mix. We're not mixing. That's my last marriage.
oh,
Two
my.
separate dungeons for you.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Great. Good.
Oh man.
And what's your sex move?
Oh!
Yeah.
When I have sex with someone, I establish a deep spiritual connection with them.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
Aw.
until either of you breaks that spirit connection by having sex with someone else.
Oh.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
I add 1 to all rolls made to defend them.
Wow.
Dang.
And
That's cool.
I can tell when that connection has been broken. I fucking know.
so somebody sleeps with somebody else.
Literally.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel the connection and go, oh, like I'm
I
not
got
defending
you.
them anymore.
Wait,
I got you on camera.
Does that just work on their side? Can you sleep with a bunch of people and then like it
No.
won't be broken? Or is it just
Either
when,
it says until either of you
Oh,
breaks
until
that
either.
spiritual.
Okay.
Either of you.
Or just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
if you could like
sleep with
center that way.
Yeah.
Just have a
I
harem.
control you.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you?
And you and you. No, it's just
Yeah.
either of you breaks that spiritual
one.
Just
connection.
a harem of monos near the only poly.
Yeah. That doesn't work that
It
way.
says either, so.
Yeah, either of you do that. So,
Alright.
all right, cool.
Somebody
All right.
hits you, they're gonna get hit.
They are. Jeez, this is scary. Don't sleep with the werewolf.
Hey, what? Don't you want some muscle? Come on.
If you feel vulnerable, sleep with the werewolf.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right. So Nyx.
All right, so for my moves, I chose Better Than Nothing, which is when you when you gain a condition, mark experience,
Oh.
and then I took
Wow.
Try Harder next time,
Oh my god, Dave is just gonna get so much more experience.
Which
Yeah.
is
It really
which is when I screw up, give myself an appropriate condition and take one forward.
And then you get to mark experience. You
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
I believe he just rolled me the other
You
day.
did.
Yes.
You min-maxed the hell out of that.
And well, the other ones are kind of the other ones are fun too, but like ones like add 1 to rolls that I make while lying, and I don't know, that just seems
This is-
less fun.
This is
Yeah.
interesting. So basically, you're gonna be kind of like as you're this creature, you're this hollow, and you're learning more about the world around you. You're developing these conditions that people are like ew or ooh or whatever.
And I'm also patterning myself after the vampire who literally lives to give people conditions. So this is like a defense mechanism.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. So,
Alright, so my sex move,
What's your sex move? Yes.
which I think might be the best sex move.
Okay.
Oh,
Alright.
wow.
So
Jeez.
when you have sex with someone, both players secretly write down whether the sex was confusing or soothing for their character. You reveal the answer at the same time. If both was the same answer, each character gains experience.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Confusing or
Or
soothing?
soothing.
That doesn't go
Are
there.
those the 2 categories?
Yes.
Apparently.
Yes, it's confusing. I can see it being confusing. Where it's like, you don't know how this works. And then soothing, like, wow, this is very chill.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is how it's supposed to be like, apparently. Maybe. I don't know.
It
Quiet
smells,
storm.
it smells like Tide. I'm at ease.
That smells like Thrall.
Summer.
All right. Wow, those are really cool. Okay. Very good. All right. So Morgan.
Oh, can I go
What-
ahead and use my experience for one of the moves?
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh.
Sorry.
You have to
Alright.
fill
You have to
all
fill the
5
experience
dots.
bar.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before you can do that.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh
So you
man,
already
it's hard to
have-
make a decision.
So you
Okay.
you already have the hunger, which you
Yes.
can share. What is that?
That is if you have a hunger for vengeance. I wrote mine in.
Vengeance. Okay, good.
When you heedlessly pursue a hunger, add 1 to rolls. When you ignore a promising feeding opportunity, roll to keep your cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the other two?
The next one is satiety. When you satiate a hunger, choose 1. Heal 1 harm, mark experience, take 1 forward.
Okay.
Good. You want an arm?
That's nice.
Yeah. And
The second one?
there's 2 I really like.
I
Okay. I'll go with the one that's Frenchish. Esprit de corps.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
When you gaze into the abyss will share with you its hunger.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Treat that hunger as one of your own until you satiate it. And mark experience when you do so.
Nice.
Wow.
All right.
Yep.
Duly noted.
Yeah.
We will see what that looks like. We'll
Yeah.
see what the abyss hungers for.
Ooh, excellent.
Okay.
It's never the same thing twice.
Nope.
Nope.
It's always different. Okay, cool.
At
So
one time it
and
was
then
Arby's.
at one time it was Arby's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right. What's a cool sex move?
So it's when you have sex with someone, create a new hunger. And there's a description on the
wow.
back.
Damn it.
Okay, yeah. It can... I know. hungers. It can be anything you like, and it's added to your character alongside their existing hungers. If you have sex often,
You hope.
you'll,
Or don't.
you'll find your appetite growing wider and weirder all the
Ooh.
time.
Ooh.
And so I was going to ask you,
Uh-huh.
does it count if I have sex with corpses?
Oh.
Since I'm dead.
Let me think. Yes, you get it. All of you, I mean, I want to give all of you a point of, actually, everyone write down an extra point of XP for yourself.
Oh,
You're
that's
bringing
so nice.
in hardcore. And that question alone, yeah, Renae, you get another one. Do corpses count? I'm gonna say yes in this
Okay.
case.
Especially since we have the cemeteries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a cemetery, and that means there's probably more mortuary in the
And
town.
it's not easy to access a corpse. It's
No.
not like...
But you may have
You know.
strings on somebody who owns the local mortuary.
Oh my god, yes! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Okay, so I'm gonna
It'd
be
be like Phantasm.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so
Is there also a stabby spear?
Yes!
Nice.
corpse procurement.
Why is it so difficult to get to the corpses?
All right. So
Famously.
yeah, you may know. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. I think that there's a family in town that owns this mortuary, and so one of those people goes to the school. Obviously.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you may know that person. We don't know who they are yet, but we'll
Yeah.
figure it out. Okay.
Ooh, they know you and you don't.
Exactly.
Oh.
Because like your body came through the mortuary, probably, right?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe the mortician's a necrophile. That's how you met.
Oh.
So that brings
Pretty
me
hot.
to another point. So like in terms of just making sure that we are being safe in the setting.
What
Do
if...
you want to?
Wait, what?
Next
No, I'm
Does
fine.
the MC need the extra?
No, I know. So what were you gonna say?
What
Out
if
of
the
control.
Mortuary... what would you call that person? And my sister's married to a mortuary person.
Mortician.
Mortician, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm half asleep.
Yeah.
What if the mortician had sex with me when I was dead?
Exactly.
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my
Yeah.
god! Yes!
Yes.
Yes!
Okay.
That
Yes!
gave you your
That could have
first
been when you
hunger.
woke up. That could have been when you woke
Yes.
Oh, you're playing the hell out of this!
up. Okay, yes.
So what is your hunger?
Yeah, your hunger is for
It's
vengeance.
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 Right now.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh my. Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
This makes me wish we had a Twitch stream to get our reactions.
Oh shit, yeah.
Okay, so yes, so that now that has been established and we've kind of laughed about it, I think we have to make sure that like which things are completely like off limits. So
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
we're
yeah.
getting into necrophilia,
Right.
blah. Is there anything that we shouldn't touch on that might be too much to bear, like teachers and students being together, or like that kind of dynamic, or animals, or like what are you all thinking is a hard no?
Children being victimized.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sleeping is right out.
That would be it.
Okay, all right, there we go.
Prefer not to have dogs being killed, but you know, I know it happens
Right.
sometimes.
But if they're consenting.
You've got a werewolf here.
Yeah.
You know that's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna- Just don't make it gratuitous.
Right. We'll fade to
No.
black. We'll fade to
It's
black.
fade to black.
Yeah.
We'll-
Fade to black, yes.
Tasteful dog death, please.
Yes.
Oh, you're talking about dog death.
No, we were talking about dog. We were talking about
Oh, dog
bestiality.
sex.
Yeah,
Oh,
dog.
that's fine. I don't give a shit about that.
So wait, corpses and animals are on the table?
Oh,
What?
yeah.
Apparently.
Sometimes at the same time.
What?
Animal corpses.
How do the animals write down if it was like soothing or like confusing?
What are you planning?
Yeah.
Ghouls' tastes are going to get whiter and weirder.
Yes,
so we
they
have to
are.
allow for
Just
this.
saying.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Baseline is corpses.
Yes. I'm picturing it getting to like ghosts somehow, like somehow being a spirit.
Top tier is obviously furries. I mean, you're going to get there, but
You've got to do a lot of connections to get up there.
Like pile of meat, like a literal like pile of steaks or something. Right?
Yeah.
Like at the cannery, like all the fish have been like gutted. And
Yeah, and they're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
stuff like that.
ooh.
or,
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like that Seinfeld where you'll try to integrate eating food while you're having sex.
Okay.
But it's also corpses.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And
Corpses
I
all
like-
the way down.
I like to
You're
eat
like,
raw,
okay.
raw meats while I'm
Yeah, raw meat. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I
right
love
now
all
it's
of
just
this.
vengeance that you hunger for, but oh my
Right.
goodness.
Oh, yeah. Who knows
Yeah, the
where you'll
places
go?
you'll go.
Oh.
Domesticating it if we've already planned how it's going to go.
You have. So we're just kind of trying to keep all this in mind as we're moving forward.
Yeah.
So I think, okay, so those are all the moves.
Can we define what age is a child? Because we're all supposed to be in high school.
Exactly. So
I'm picturing, like I said, I'm picturing myself like senior year kind of.
So you're like
I'm
17?
like, so what
17
age?
-ish,
Saying 17 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All of you are
just,
17?
just maybe
Yeah.
starting senior year.
Yeah.
Okay.
16, 17.
Okay.
Because what's really cool is that, so Des is going to run this, and this is going to be X number of sessions. That will be season 1.
Oh,
Then if we wanted to come back and get season 2,
Oh my
you get to
god!
do grown-up moves.
In
And
college.
so there's grown-up moves that you
Yeah.
apply to your character to show that you're maturing and
Oh.
you're like looking
wow.
differently at the world.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
senior year works then. And honestly, I kind of feel that if we're teenagers,
Yeah.
obviously interacting with other teenagers is like
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
It's kind of expected.
Mhm.
So I guess like middle school and under is that maybe like hard age line of like what's
Not cool.
Yeah, I would say
I mean like 7th grade and under.
12 and under. Yeah,
12 and
13.
under, yeah.
We'll say 13.
I'd say
Sure.
Never
13.
come up.
13 and under.
May never come up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it may more than likely will not come up.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like for me personally.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I-
So that's
I-
that.
totally on
Are
board
we
with
in
that.
agreement with this?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
13 and under.
Sure,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Okay. So
I have a quick question.
What?
So, for everyone else. Do under experience, you fill up your 5 dots and then you get to choose one of these things that's under experience.
Uh-huh.
And so, do you all have take a move from any skin?
Yep.
as an
Yes.
option?
I
I
have
have
Yes!
two of
That's
them.
cool, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Okay, just making sure.
Um,
And then-
I think you
and then
have
a lot
like,
of
a
us-
couple of specific ones, and then everyone has
yeah.
at some level like take a move from any. skill.
Yeah, and then most of us also have the option to form a gang. So
Yeah.
I can
I-
form a vampiric coterie.
Oh, that's what that is.
I belong
There
to a
you go.
coven.
Oh, I have found hollow siblings.
Neat!
Ah.
Yeah.
Love your imaginary friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Oh, you came to the wrong
Okay.
neighborhood, motherfucker.
Okay.
Start a
So
religion.
Yeah.
all right. So next, I want to delve a little bit. Were there any other thoughts on any of that? Are you good?
I think we're good.
Okay. So now we're going to delve a little bit more into your backstories.
Okay.
At this point, we kind of are getting a handle on like it's 2d6, right? And you're
Yep.
rolling against your stats.
Mhm.
The moves you have established that you've chosen, which are exciting. You know your sex moves, and then you know your everyday run-of-the-mill player moves.
Mhm.
Okay.
So we have all that. And again, make each character's life not boring. Keep the story feral. Say what the rules demand. Say what honesty demands. Just establishing that.
Mhm.
So we're doing our backstories. I'm going to ask you a couple questions about your backstory.
Oh, Lord.
And we kind of delved a little bit into that while we
Sure.
were creating the setting. You guys have given me so much. I don't know. I'm going to try to figure out a way to compile all this information and make it into a kind of something that you guys can refer to because
Oh.
Handy.
we'll see how well
Yeah,
that goes.
yeah,
But
Obsidian
it's
portal.
okay.
there's exactly
Yeah.
there's so much here that's really really great and rich. So you guys are amazing as usual.
Can I
What?
throw in one thing?
What?
So Jade, you were talking about like how the town is very integrated with nature and stuff.
Yeah.
I've never been to Portland, Maine, but I've seen a map of it. If you look at the map, it's very like kind of stretched out right along the coast because there's these hills that just come right down to the coast. So I'm picturing the town going up into these little vales and valleys. you know,
I think that definitely
and
works.
these
for
like
Yeah.
wooded hills.
Yeah.
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 Good cover.
I was kind of thinking that like the financial hierarchy would go from the top
Yes,
of the hills
yes.
down.
Oh,
That's,
yeah,
yep,
for
that's what
sure.
it does.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think since it's beachfront, I imagine it opposite. Where all of the best real estate is like right on like.
Yeah, and
Maybe
then
it's
there's
like,
like,
maybe it's like a bell curve where like
That's right,
furthest
exactly.
away, closest to, and then it gets cheaper as you get to the center. But like beachfront's expensive, and then
up
the
high is
views
expensive.
are also expensive.
Yep.
Mm.
The estates.
then there's like favelas, like in Brazil,
Yeah.
on the hills.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, the yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you some questions about your backstory. You're gonna share a few details about your personality, family life,
Mm-hmm.
and you all are free to ask questions of the character, the skin being asked.
Okay.
If you have a question that's,
Are you asking my skin?
but anyway, you can all ask other questions, and then we'll delve. So my question for Lucian. So you say you grew up in a bordello,
Yeah.
basically.
Oh, flop house.
A flop
motel.
house.
Yeah.
So what is your relationship with sex? In terms of how you perceive sex, and are you a virgin?
I think so, yeah.
You are?
Yes.
That surprises me. Why?
Because my sex move is all about denying sex to people. Also, because my vampirism is a result of an STD, I actually, for all my anti-hero posing, I don't want to spread it around. I don't want to give it to anybody else.
Huh.
You know?
Aw.
How did you get it?
From my mother.
Yeah, so it's congenital.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, that's really
Did she
fascinating.
breastfeed you?
Probably, yeah.
All right. So your relationship with sex is you just don't want any part of it.
I don't want any part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what do you sublimate for sex? Feeding?
Yeah.
Okay.
And emotional manipulation.
But you don't drink blood, right?
I don't know yet, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your first feed like?
I think it's something I've had to do my whole life, whatever it is.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm an emotional vampire. You know, the sustenance I get is off of other
Withholding.
people's
And playing
turmoil.
with their
Energetic vampire.
emotions.
Energetic, exactly.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't actually drink blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's being like the shittiest little brat to stress your mom out and then just basking in all of
Yeah,
that
that-
chaotic energy.
And that's why she runs the bordello, is to get all her emotional energy off all the just the turmoil and the sexual energy and the the emotional energy just gets riled up.
Alright.
You know, she just feeds off all that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Is there anything else about you that we should know? Does anyone have any questions for Lucian?
I drive a Trans Am.
Okay. What color is it?
Burgundy.
What?
With a gold falcon.
How
on
do you
it.
maintain
No!
that? How do you maintain that? Do you work?
Oh yeah, do you have a job?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where do you work?
I work at the motel. I work
Oh.
at the front desk.
Okay.
Oh. I have a question about your feeding.
Yes.
How much angst does it take to fulfill you or satiate you?
Enough to get, like, mechanically speaking, would be enough to get a string on somebody.
Oh, okay.
So, like, any of these moves that, like, you can get a string on someone, that would
Yeah,
count.
that makes sense.
Yeah. And you can elicit that angst to feed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Also,
Okay.
since I'm technically dead, I was thinking about this earlier. I'm technically dead, so that's why I have to feed off the emotions
Yeah.
because I can't generate any of my own.
Right.
I can't create anything on my own.
Uh-huh.
So like I can't
Yeah.
like play music or write a story.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Yeah.
So I'm really into music because I enjoy going to concerts and like
Yeah,
you know
sure.
getting
Feeding on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, new
that.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you didn't. So just to let everyone know, so vampire moves, you can choose the feeding
Mm-hmm.
where you feed on hot blood direct from the source.
That is the feeding
That's
as a move.
That's a move,
That's
but
a
you've
move,
not
but I
chosen
avoided
that.
Yeah,
Right.
I did avoid that on purpose.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So if you wanted to play a vampire like in another season, just know that you can actually.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Feed on blood.
Feed on
It's
blood.
quite
Particular
flexible.
interpretation.
Yeah, this is nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
it is.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So Rodriga, we talk about your grandmother a lot. So what is your relationship like with your parents?
I technically have a lot of siblings.
Mm.
My parents couldn't afford to keep all of us. And so my mother's mother offered to take me, and I haven't seen my parents
Oh,
since.
where do they live?
Really?
I don't know.
Oh.
Wow.
How old were you when your grandmother adopted you?
She's the only one I remember.
Okay.
Did she choose you because she saw the spark, or like do your other siblings have it too?
I'd like to think I'm the special one.
Cool. What's your favorite subject in school?
Senior year, right?
Yeah.
So we've got government and
Economics.
and economics.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Algebra 2.
Psh, I was doing fucking like calculus then and hating my life.
Yeah, you could be in calculus.
But are you?
Are you a dedicated student? Do you go to summer school for like extra classes?
Oh my god. Does anybody
You
do that?
know, I try to be pretty good because I try to be there for my grandmother. So if I had to do summer school, I wouldn't be with her during the summertime.
Yeah.
I think probably literature. I love to read. I like to imagine lives bigger than mine.
Yeah.
You know, it's also senior year, so we would be back filling those electives too.
All right. So, does your grandmother have a garden, or does she harvest?
yeah.
How does she? Okay.
Yeah, we grow as much as we can. So we have a garden.
What's your favorite herb to plant to like take care of?
Ooh,
Witch hazel.
Hogwarts.
Quiet. You follow you.
Silence.
Yes. Oh my. Still good after all this time.
Yes, it is.
Will always
Yeah.
be good.
no, I probably love something more like sweet peas though, because they look beautiful but they're poisonous.
Yeah. And then what?
Shouldn't be Dave whispering
Jesus
that?
Christ.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, where's the microphone?
That's right there.
Sweet peas.
You really wanted that last S to drive.
Yeah. So Rodriga, what is the most useful natural resource in your where you live that you utilize to work on to do the magic and different things that you do?
Like a particular.
Could be any kind of natural resource that you can access easily and that is really powerful.
You know, I'd say that even though our property is really run down, there is a well there. It's been there for a lot longer than they even think the town has.
Oh.
So I use the water from the well.
Yes!
Neat!
It
Okay.
always comes out cool.
But never frozen.
Right. Yeah, never, even in the winter, it doesn't freeze. Yeah.
Nice. I think it's cold.
Oh, yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
definitely.
Yeah.
Maine?
Colleen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yarp.
So Colleen, what's your position in your pack?
Oh, I don't know how to speak about that.
Do they work in that way?
I'm the one that was sent out, so it's not great. But I'm like the first person to go to college.
I feel that. I
Like,
know
I'm not
that.
one of them,
The
but
first
I know.
wolf to go
but
to
they kind of
college.
like me. And
I
they're
know.
like, you go, kid.
Yeah.
You know.
Interesting.
But they don't want to hear about it at Thanksgiving.
No, they don't know what I'm talking about anyway.
Yeah.
Just picturing a wolf trotting up with a muzzle full of brochures and dropping them
Yeah.
at their feet.
Me.
My nose, the one with the financial aid.
Yeah. The FAFSA brochure.
Go to UNM, it's the Lobos.
So thinking about your sex move.
Oh yeah.
Have you had sex already? Has this something that's happened yet to you that you know this about yourself?
Shoot. That is a great question. Dang. I don't think I have.
So you don't know this about yourself yet?
I don't know this about myself. Because of the nature of the sex move, it says, when I have sex with someone, I establish a deep spiritual connection with them.
Yeah.
So I think that speaks to an experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to have that happen in play.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then another question is, what is your favorite thing about being the thing that you are?
It's very simple, and I understand. I understand the deal. I mean, I wouldn't want to. I don't know about everybody else because this is.
Yeah. So what do you like about being?
What
having
do I
that-
like about being me? I'm connected to nature, and I'm simple, and it's good.
So like nature
Not
has.
high maintenance.
No.
Yeah, like you.
Well.
Yeah, it's simple in terms of your needs and like maintaining your life. You feel like it's simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
What complicates your life?
Math.
Yeah.
Actually, driver's ed was really hard. I really didn't like it, but I learned, and I'm a little embarrassed about my wolf pack. So
What
that's
embarrasses you about them?
That's an issue. That they exist. That I'm never going to be human. That's a problem.
Oh yeah, you're pretty liminal, right? You're not.
Yeah.
Human or
Right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a problem.
So were you a human, like a foundling that the wolves adopted, and then you just took on wolf aspects
I don't
because they
think
raised
so.
you like?
I
Was it
don't
like
think so.
Lamarckian in that way?
Right, no, right. Because
Yeah.
because I had this capability of turning into a wolf with my darkest self, and I think that it's got to be some kind of a half breed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So occasionally it just happens. You get these weird half-breed wolves that get born.
Maybe. I
To a
mean,
wolf pack.
I don't know of anybody else like me though,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
interesting.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Something to discover.
Yeah.
So any other questions for Colleen you'll have?
What color is your fur?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gray.
Nice.
Nice.
Like the cliffs.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Okay, so Nyx.
Hello.
Well, hello. Hi. What is your fondest memory of your Wishmaker?
Oh man. Oh, I was actually just thinking about that. So, as an unusual child, or rather with parents who were a bit more accepting of certain things, we used to have tea parties.
Oh.
Yeah.
Some
So
fond memories of that.
exactly. So I would always be the one to pass the box of teas, to Nicholas, where he would take a lot of time to select and brew the tea.
No.
So cute.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What is a label? What's your most current label that you've adopted to make sense of what and who you are?
Oh my, most current label.
And I'm sure those have changed over time.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they swap constantly. But I think entering into senior year, I think I saw like the previous seniors as being very, even though they probably weren't, being very composed and sort of having like this this mature aspect to them. I'll state outright that I have no idea what sex is at all.
Okay.
Because like my entire frame of reference basically is like, I think a family is an imaginary set of friends who have tea parties and like various exploring adventures together and build pillow forts.
Okay.
So like
having a tea party in the pillow fort?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
well that's
Potential.
like that's changing paradigms here.
There's potential.
Yeah, there's potential there, but I've never thought of it. It's all those memories that people that like regular people have of like Thanksgivings and Christmases and birthdays and such, and like for Nyx it's tea parties and pillow forts and like Christmas mornings where he's like brought out and he gets his own gift. So in terms of
the label that's sticking
in terms of the label that's sticking right now, I think he's trying to emulate like that maturity, that confidence. So he's trying to dress a little better. So maybe a little preppy.
Yeah,
I think that would be a decent enough label.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because you're in terms of emulating like Lucian's kind of attitudes, but with this kind of preppy veneer.
Well, you do have the disheveled quality, right?
I do have the disheveled quality, so like
Things are a little off.
Well, because I have to like get my clothes from like the clothes that the family left in the summer home.
So they're like a little too big,
They're a little too big or a little too small, or like they're a little threadbare, or they smell a little mothbally.
Right. Yeah.
Or since it's like the summer home, you don't have any winter clothing.
Yeah.
So
I kind of have to like piece together. I have to layer up.
Does the cold?
You're just wearing 15 polo shirts.
Yeah, this is the guy.
Does the cold affect you like in the same way it would for like a human?
Ooh, I wonder.
I think I recognize the cold. I don't think it affects me physically, but I can identify the social cues that people need to dress warmly.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to pull from that, but like I don't really have like a lot to pull from. So like I wore like a thin jacket one year and everyone just kept on asking me, aren't you cold?
Yeah.
So I started like adding on like scarves and like muffs and
different things.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm really glad it's like after summer now where I can go back to just like one layer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you able to decipher between like I should be wearing like the boy clothes or the girl? Like, do you mix and match those things sometimes?
Occasionally, I make I mix and match, but I guess they're like occasionally like mistakes because we're kind of in the era where it's things are very gendered. So I could whatever I do could either be construed as like a mistake or very avant-garde.
Right.
Very fashion
But
forward.
I think the important thing to note here is that I'm always going commando because I don't know what like underwear is.
That's important.
That's important to know.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's good to
Because
know.
you actually have no bacteria living on you.
No, none at all.
Because you don't shed skin
Commando.
flakes or anything,
No.
oils.
Right, no
Yeah.
hair. I
Right.
got no use for you.
It's like a mannequin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goddamn mannequin.
I mean, I've got hair up here, but like the rest of
That's
me
it.
is just
Very
yeah.
hairless.
Yeah.
And so
But-
during gym class, when you're changing,
Ooh.
Like it's just like gym shorts over nothing.
So we've got a power bottom, an aggressive dom, and a twink. So
Yes, we do. This is all good.
Oh man,
All right. So
beautiful.
it is. All right. Does anyone have any other questions for
I
me?
guess right now I'm curious too, just like,
Yeah.
like leg hair and stuff. Like
Yeah.
armpit hair.
No.
No, because the kid didn't
Kid
like
didn't-
he didn't
Visualize.
imagine. He imagined me before he was pubescent, so like the only hair he
Right.
really had was just the stuff on his head.
wow.
so do you even
fascinating.
have genitalia?
No.
I do have genitals because I can have sex.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
that's key to the game.
But it's like
Yeah.
like a Ken doll,
Well, is it
except a little
hazy?
bit more.
I mean, you
Well-
don't necessarily have to have
Hazy,
genitalia.
yeah.
It's just a
No,
sex
like a blur.
move. It's not like penetrating.
Yeah, and
That
sex
is
can
true.
be sex can be
Yeah.
different. It doesn't have to be penetrative. Like it can sex
Okay.
can
Yeah.
take shape in
All right.
a lot of different ways.
Okay.
So.
There are
That's-
lots of, it does
it's
say there's a
true.
section on rules for like asexuality.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
that too. Yeah.
Others.
Yeah, I think my creator though he was he was a boy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would have boy parts, but
Yeah.
there's no hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
All right.
yeah.
Huh.
So
a good listener.
I'm a good listener, and it's probably changed as I've like seen other people like in the locker room like,
Yeah.
oh, it's not supposed to be like that anymore,
Oh.
but
So
still no
like-
hair.
So you
Yeah.
can change your body with your mind a little bit?
A little bit,
The
but not
perception.
not excessively.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Is
just-
it more like the collective perception is like subtly influencing
Shifting.
you?
I would say so, like just like the collective expectation, because I'm born of like a wish.
Yeah.
So I'm very attuned to the like what would be called the social atmosphere, perhaps.
So what was the wish?
So surrealist.
What was the wish?
I think the wish was that Nicholas could stay in Greyfall forever.
Or Greycliff?
Greycliff forever. Yeah.
Okay. So you're a manifestation of that wish.
Yeah, because he wanted to stay there forever with me, but he
So
had to
a
move away.
piece. So
Right.
so yes.
Oh, yeah.
So a piece of him is still
Exactly,
there,
and
which
I'm,
is you.
and I'm,
so
and I'm
sad.
waiting for him to come back and fulfill that wish.
I love it.
Right.
So how much do you look like him?
I'm sure there's like parts like there's like facial features probably that have like developed a little bit to look like he would potentially. But still that very unusual, like the not quite foreign look, because he sort of created me from the ether as like his friend, but not from here.
Right.
Sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's part of your appeal.
Okay, cool. Any other questions? We're good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Morrigan. So one of the backstories was someone reminding you of what love was. So what was your perception of love before you died? What was that perception?
Oh. Well, oh wow, that's a good question. Well, I didn't get love from my parents.
Right.
They moved from Korea to the U.S. for some sort of tech job, and they were constantly telling me, "You have to fit in. You have to fit in, right? And so, don't behave as you want to. Behave like everyone expects you to." And I really rebelled against that at some point.
Okay.
I was very distant from my parents. So maybe I found love through other kids at school who also felt sort of distanced from their parents.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
So the love from
Wow.
your peers.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so that makes sense with Lucian in terms of you not really like having that connection to your mother, like feeling that weird distance.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like being able to identify that in Lucian and being like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's what.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
that
Yeah.
and that's feeling like, you know, like a crush, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, and then so
Yeah,
this-
which I thought all that was gone when I died.
right,
And
because you
we
didn't
awoke.
feel that, you didn't like what? How did that take? It just didn't feel anything anymore.
I just felt anger and rage.
Yeah.
I thought of an X-rated way that maybe I became
Go.
myself.
Yeah, go for it. We're
We
here
haven't
for
gone
it.
X-rated
No,
already.
You
You
can't
just
call it
talk-
X-rated until we bring up the X card.
Hey!
Until then, it's not rated.
There you go.
Okay. I was trying to think, how can a ghoul come to be through necrophilia?
Mhm.
Okay, so let's say that I wasn't completely dead when I was brought to the morgue. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
still, although my throat was torn out, my heart was still beating. Okay, but no one noticed.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
That has.
Yeah. And so I was slowly dying. Mortician had sex with me and orgasmed at the moment that I.
Oh.
And it's that exact moment that creates a ghoul.
Yeah.
Yes! Yeah!
That's like some deep magic.
Yep.
That is.
Yeah.
It is. It's some weird sex
That's
magic.
prime
Yeah.
right there, yeah.
Because it's all about at what?
Like, there's none weird sex in it.
Yeah.
This is the weird sex.
Yeah,
Yes.
this isn't like normal
This
sex
isn't
magic.
normal
No,
usual.
you know,
It's
this
just
is
it's
weird.
weird. Yeah. No, not the stuff we do.
Like
yeah.
you learn about in school.
Yeah. But it's that it's like really dark and
Extremely
effective.
effective.
Goes
Yeah.
with my sex move.
Yes,
Sort
it
of.
absolutely
What was your
does.
sex move again?
My
Yeah.
appetite, the more sex
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
have,
yeah,
it
gets
grows
hungrier.
wider and
What's
weirder.
the
Yeah.
what's the Poe story where the guy gets hypnotized at the moment of death?
Oh, that's a great one.
Testament or
Yeah.
case of so and so. Anyway, it's similar to that.
I have a
Really?
question.
Where he gets hypnotized at the moment that he dies, and so it keeps him alive. And he
Oh,
describes
right.
how it feels to be dead and to
Yes.
start to feel his body decay.
Wasn't that the Office Space plot as well?
Basically, yeah.
I
It was a
love it.
fantastic retelling.
Okay, so I think so the hunger, that makes sense that would then trigger this chain reaction of like constant hunger and appetite.
Question.
Yes.
Regarding your formative years, did you have a pet, a beloved pet of any kind?
Oh.
That might have helped you learn about love, maybe?
Maybe. You mean before I died?
Before
Yeah,
the
before
yeah.
he died.
Oh, okay.
A
It's
turtle.
something that my parents would accept.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A cat,
yeah.
a kitten.
Cat, yeah.
Yeah. No, they think cats are yucky.
Okay, so that's no. That's a no.
Yeah.
Bird?
A bird.
A bird.
Ooh,
Okay.
what kind of a
Bird.
bird?
Yeah.
What kind of a bird?
Something small.
Yeah. Parakeet?
Yeah, there you go.
Mm.
Parrot.
Yeah.
Parakeet. What was
Okay.
its name?
Ooh. Oh, so many questions.
Answer!
You're in the hot seat.
Ooh. Can I use one of these names?
Yes.
I'll call it a Kuji.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
What happened to Akuji?
Yeah.
Akuji's still with my parents.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, they live a long time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Cool. And so then your change into what you are now, have your parents detected a change in you?
Yes.
What do
Oh.
they?
Absolutely.
How do you know that? Did they say something to you, or?
Did you dress the way you dressed before you died?
No, I was very straight laced before. But now.
So you're driving them crazy.
I give no f's
Yeah.
about anyone,
Right.
and they're part of this vengeance feeling of mine. Like
They're part of it.
they've helped form it. Perpetuate. There's a lot that happened before I died that has caused me to feel like this hunger for vengeance after I died.
Damn, I'm
And they were
scared for
part
them.
of it.
Yeah.
What's that?
I'm scared for them.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Can I throw in a suggestion?
Sure.
About, just based on some friends I had in LA who were the children of...
Who were also ghouls.
I hope not. We were all like 9 years old
Part
at
of
the
the punk
time.
scene.
But no, they're the children of Asian immigrants, and so one of them in particular, his dad owned I think he owned like a whole chain of restaurants.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
he worked like 15 hours a day,
yeah.
like going between these different restaurants.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow,
I'm
yeah.
picturing if your parents own like a franchise chain of Howard Johnson's or something, like up
Oh.
and down the
Motel
coast.
6 is saying.
Well, it would give us a restaurant to hang out in.
Oh, I like that.
Yes,
yeah,
I
let's
want
do
fries.
that. Oh, cool.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
So just real quick question about the timeline of you dying. You died. You got brought to the morticians.
Yeah.
But did your parents like hear any of this? Like, did they ever get a call from like the?
Yeah, I was wondering about
You
that.
could have been like mauled to the point of not being recognizable.
Yeah.
And before,
Mm.
Yeah.
they like I don't know, maybe it happened on the weekend and no one like really
Right.
sorted it out.
Yeah.
And by
Right.
the time they came to like check on you,
That's it.
you were
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Okay.
maybe someone had called them and said, "Can you come identify this body?"
Yeah.
But then I reawoke and it just showed up. I was like, "Hey, Mom and Dad,
Yeah.
I don't know what that call was about.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know,
That's weird.
something like that.
And
I
the
don't know."
mortician would have helped you cover it up because obviously.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
like-
Exactly.
Holy shit! Imagine him.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm
My bad.
wondering.
Actually, yeah. Did the mortician see you reawake?
Reawaken.
That's what I'm wondering, and I'm wondering if maybe now like it was intentional because he knew what he was doing.
Oh.
He knew what he was doing.
See a
Ooh,
magician.
a rival
about
witch in
that.
town.
Yes, a warlock.
Big bad one.
warlock.
too.
Necromancer.
Black magic.
You're going
Yeah.
down.
Okay.
I love
that,
Warlock.
You're gonna wither
Yeah.
that bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
There's so much here. Okay.
Intense.
I told you.
Okay.
Were you worried about it?
No. I was just hoping that you would enjoy this and that it would be
Well,
fun.
also, like, in terms of her prepping Giovanni, I'm like, do Monsterhearts because it's 0 prep and we give you everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Because you already had done enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, cool. So, any other questions? And we'll find out more all about you too as we go on in terms of dynamics. Was there anything more questions for Morrigan?
I'm good.
And is Morrigan a name that you adopted after you came
Yes.
here? Your parents
Yeah,
chose
yeah.
it? Did you choose it or did your parents choose it for you?
I chose it for myself
Okay.
because I heard about this crazy goddess who's always angry.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
All right. Okay.
So I feel like I was sent by her.
Right?
But you definitely have your Korean name that gets called out on the first day of school or whenever there's a substitute. You're like, yes, that's me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Is it phonetically similar?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
wondering.
maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, do some
There
research.
might be something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to school with a Korean girl named Hae Yoon.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Okay.
Was that tough for her?
It was.
You know,
I
as a
see how it
person
couldn't be.
whose name or similar has appeared in many songs, I can only imagine
Yeah.
the like shitty like
All the stoners with their Pink Floyd jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, forget it.
Oh, poor thing.
Everybody
Yeah.
sucks.
Annoying. Yeah,
Yeah.
people are annoying.
Yeah,
All right.
you gotta hate him.
So you do. Okay, so lovely. Thanks for sharing some of your backstories with me. I'm sure they will develop. We'll find out more about them over time as we delve into these characters. The final thing we're doing today before our next session is we're going to establish your homeroom. So you're all in the same homeroom.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
What are the odds?
What class, guys? What class?
and it is homeroom, so it's the first class that you go to, at least on Mondays. And
Maybe it's the government and civics class.
Oh, could be.
no, but it's homeroom. It's like
There's no
Well,
subject matter.
like when I was
there's no
Oh.
subject
when
matter.
I
You
was
just
in like
sit there
public
and
high
talk.
school, it was like my first class was art. Like I didn't really have a
Always.
homeroom.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just your first class is homeroom.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
So-
just not
But
the
I
way I
had
did
a
it.
homeroom like that in middle school, but when I got to high school,
It's
it
really
was
just class
It's
after
just-
class.
It's just homeroom.
But for the purposes of the game,
No, I didn't have homeroom in high school.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay, so for the purpose of the game, yeah, homeroom is just like a class, like the first 15 minutes of class.
Okay.
Okay.
Where
There's no subject.
you're like they do
Announcements.
attendance, there's
Sweet.
announcements.
Yeah.
You get to see who's wearing what.
it's a management meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, basically. Exactly, before you have to go to your first class.
Progressive.
So,
Did you go to Capshaw, Jade? Okay. When I went to Capshaw, they had something like that. It was like a 20-minute thing, but it was called the Faculty Advisory Period, or FAP for short. Which really wouldn't fly nowadays. It was okay in 1990, but not anymore.
I was middle school and it was still that.
It was FAP.
Oh my
all
god!
right, well,
Wow,
It
it's
was-
FAP
It was
time?
called
Really?
homeroom.
It's FAP time.
Yeah.
It's time to
It's
FAP. Give yourself 20 minutes to FAP.
I mean, in high school, what are you going to do with the other 15 minutes?
it's a good point.
I laid it up and he dunked it.
Yes. Okay, so I don't necessarily want to rush through this
Do you want to
because
leave it for
I
next
think
time?
we might have to
We
leave
have
it for.
20?
Okay, I
we
think
got
we can
20.
start it. I think we can do it. I think
Yeah.
we can do it.
Okay.
I think we can do it. Let's just do it.
Do it.
Talk about it.
Yeah. Don't write about it. Just do it. Okay.
Yeah.
So homeroom. So we'll establish who your teacher is in homeroom.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure who that could be, unless you have a
We might have some
great
ideas.
idea. But so starting with this is the chart. I'm gonna create this chart
Those
for you all.
desks.
These
Those
are all
desks.
desks.
Oh, that's
How
So-
many kids are in the
Small
class?
senior
So
class.
it is. It's 12.
The conceit is that there's only 15
class is
desks.
There's only
12, though.
15 desks.
15 desks.
Okay.
But this is 12. I have 12 here because there's only so many NPCs I can keep track of. So
Oh, you're doing 12. Okay.
I am. But you are,
That's
a
funny.
quarter of those or
Yeah.
whatever. So anyway, we'll figure it out as we
I
go
ate
along.
3 of them.
You ate?
Well, plus
See
we've
about
already
that.
come up with several.
Yeah.
Other side
yeah.
characters.
That's
anyway.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, though, this chart is going to be something I'm going to be writing in, and you're going to be helping me create this homeroom class. And in
Right.
fact, there may be a larger class, but this is kind of the core group of
Okay.
people that
Yeah,
you sit around.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so who of you is the most popular out of your group?
What?
Lucian.
Yeah, he's the
Lucian?
biggest.
He's got a string on everyone.
That's true. That's a good point.
So Lucian, where do you usually sit in class? Are you in the front or the back?
Back row, baby.
Where middle,
Mm-hmm.
or sides?
Middle.
Okay, Lucian.
Oh, can I sit somewhere where I can stare at Lucy?
Okay, where do you want to sit?
Oh,
He's right in the middle back here.
Yeah, I want to sit behind. Okay, next to.
Yeah.
Left or right?
Ooh, what's your better
Are
side?
you left-handed?
Sit on my sinister side.
Yes.
Devil's left hand.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay. All
I like
right.
it.
And then who's the second most popular besides Lucian? Rodriguez? Okay,
Yeah.
where do you like to sit in class?
By a window.
Okay, so the windows are on the left side here.
Okay.
So toward the front or the middle?
Probably the middle.
Middle here? Okay, I'm going to put you second.
Second row back.
Okay. All right. And windows. Okay. And Colleen, where do you like to sit in class?
Front row center.
Okay.
I gotta think real hard.
Just it keeps you focused?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm imagining the really adorable stoner and clueless.
Yeah.
Like in the front row, and he's just like stoked, but he has no idea what is going on.
That's right. Yep. That's it exactly.
Okay. We got a badass on our hands here in the back. Okay.
Try
So
not to
Nix,
drool.
where do you like to sit?
Right side, second row from the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why do you choose that spot?
That gives me the optimal viewing angle of almost every single person in class while not being that person in the back right of class.
Okay.
Very
So you don't want to sit.
I don't want
very
to
back
sit
corner.
to the right hand of Lucian
Lucian?
because I know what happens to that person. It's not good.
So who usually sits there? And is victimized by
Oh,
Lucian?
God.
I think it's one of my regulars.
Yeah.
But
Who is that?
What?
Is it a popular kid or is it a
No.
loser kid? It's a
It's a
loser
hanger
kid.
on.
Definitely a hanger on.
Are they into you?
Renfield.
Are they into you? Yeah, Renfield type.
Renfield on the right. Yeah.
Renfield's on the right, y'all. Yeah,
The kid who steals cigarettes from his dad's pharmacy.
This is the guy.
Son of the pharmacist.
Okay.
Love it.
What's his name?
Love it.
George.
Joshua.
Neil.
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 I like Neil.
Okay.
Oh my.
Okay, Neil. And what does Neil look like?
He's got bad acne.
Mm-hmm.
Prescription
Still.
glasses from Sears.
You know, he's gonna be a looker.
He is.
As long
If we
as he
learned
doesn't,
anything
Yeah.
from Neville Longbottom.
as long as he doesn't scratch the acne too much, because
Right.
the
That
does
pock marks
scar.
will really do you.
Right.
Yeah.
Or James Olmos situation.
Yeah.
I think Neil has a crush on you.
Yeah.
That's good
Oh,
stuff.
probably.
Okay.
Maybe.
We
Yeah.
hang out a lot.
I also wouldn't want to get stabbed by Neil in the lunch line.
Nope. Nobody
For
wants
taking-
to
Has Neil done that in the past?
Oh God. I think he just has the reputation for it.
Yeah.
For to just be unpredictable.
Well, he talks a big game, but also he doesn't ever talk anything else.
Yeah.
So he's he was what we would in these days refer to the counselor as like a school shooter, perhaps.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's very
There's a
Renfield.
trench
And the only thing that keeps him from getting his
Right.
ass
Yeah.
kicked is that he associates with me. And so
Yeah.
people, Because he doesn't know how to de-escalate, you know.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So have you had to de-escalate things with him quite often?
Yeah. I'm constantly shutting him down.
All right. You're appeasing him on some level.
It's just-
Okay, so Neil's right behind you, Nick, so that's something to be a little worried about.
Oh!
Does that freak you out a little?
A little bit,
Okay.
just slightly. I
Okay.
mean, I
Okay.
think I'm not exactly sure like what death is. So you know, those threats don't exactly
yeah.
like communicate as much weight as they would to like the mortal children.
Okay.
But at the same time, like I also don't really know too much about like what physical harm would do to me.
Yeah.
About like how I would show it or
Yeah.
how it would heal. So I'm very appreciative that like I'm very aware of his like personal space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Interesting.
Okay, so Colleen, what's your dynamic like with the teacher?
Me.
Yeah.
We haven't placed.
Yeah, Morgan's right next to Lucian.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
she went
And,
second.
Yeah.
She was on it.
Yeah, like looking at him.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
so
that's
what's
right.
your dynamic with the homeroom teacher?
I think she's losing her patience with me.
Okay.
Oh.
Does she?
I wish you'd stop sitting there.
In what way? Like, how can you tell that?
Ask questions that have nothing to do with the lesson, but you're
She's tired of my questions, and I can tell from her tone of voice. I'm very sensitive to tones of voice.
Okay.
You can hear pitches that we can't.
And it's just like, oh god.
can
I can
tell.
tell she's having a bad morning, and where she has added her cycle, I can tell
When
all
she's
kinds of crazy
menstruating,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so it's a
man.
she.
Yeah.
All right.
And you're trying to appease her, but you just make it worse.
Yeah.
Oh.
What else? What else do you know about her that you sense on a level in terms of her life and how she?
Her husband's cheating on her.
Okay.
Ooh,
All right. Does she?
have
Does
you
she?
told her that yet?
No, I'm never gonna tell her that.
Yeah. Okay. What color is her hair?
Blonde.
Okay.
She uses hot rollers. It's gorgeous.
Ah. So she's very well put together.
Yeah,
Okay.
The
Do you have a
teacher.
crush on her?
I do.
Okay. All right. Crush. Okay. And then who usually sits?
I'm imagining,
Uh,
what is it, from Slither? The main character, she's a teacher.
Uh-huh.
And she has like the
Elizabeth
blonde
Banks?
curl. Yes, Elizabeth
oh,
yeah.
that's perfect.
There you
Okay.
go.
Banks. A little preppy skirt,
Uh-huh.
a little like matching sweater set.
Right.
Okay.
all
Hey,
the
how old
boys.
is she? She's in her early 30s?
Yep.
Okay. All right. And so who sits to your right, like closest to the door? Do you notice those
Someone who
things?
probably ought to go to beauty school.
Okay.
She's really not happy here. She sweats a lot. She doesn't smell right.
Okay.
She's probably gonna drop out real soon. She's not gonna make it.
Wow.
Do you know her name?
I don't know. What do you think? Something like-
Ronnie.
Ronnie?
Ronnie?
Yeah.
Very good.
I feel like you'd be great at like being on yearbook and like picking the superlatives for everyone.
Is that your elective?
Yearbook?
No.
No.
I don't get photographs too much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Okay, so Rodriga, who sits directly next to Colleen, like in front of you, like every freaking day?
Oh, it's the fucking ass kisser in class.
Okay, what's their name or who are they?
You know, I feel gender is still eluding me, but there's a person who keeps bragging about how like any day now their parents are going to transfer them to the private school.
Oh,
So transferring
cool.
to
Maybe like a
to
child
Open
actor.
Arms. To the what?
Maybe like a child actor.
Oh.
Like he was in like one movie.
Or a commercial, a local commercial.
A local
Or like
commercial
a-
for the
Yeah, it
dealership.
would be like a catalog.
Oh, a
Or
brochure
okay.
for yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Catalog
like the
model.
springwear.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Not farm supply.
Sure. But I think it's definitely like the goody two shoes in class. They turn their shit in on time. They have someone who like brings them to school. They get lunch every day.
And they make sure everyone knows it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And but what is do you have any tokens on them?
She came to my grandmother for an abortion once.
Yes.
Oh!
Okay.
Wow.
How's that working out at the Catholic school, right? This is
Yeah.
gonna move to the.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Okay.
I see it all.
That's why she's getting sent there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's another thing.
The
Yeah,
incident.
she's making like she wants to go there.
Right,
Her
but
parents
but
are
it's
actually
really-
like, have
you're
to go
gone.
to this goddamn
Yeah.
school.
Mhm.
We don't care if it's your last year. You're out of control.
You're
Yeah,
too friendly
yeah,
with the
yeah.
boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Oh yeah. So I'm thinking. I don't know if Rodrigo has any crushes, but is this person maybe dating your crush? Or is the person that she's involved with has a crush on you?
Wow.
Ah.
That doesn't really explain why she hates me so much.
Oh, so
Yeah.
she does hate you.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So that person needs to be in this class too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that they sit actually right behind Colleen.
Yep. Next to Rodrigo.
Yep.
Within staring.
That's right.
You know,
and Judy keeps
purview.
asking if we'll switch.
Judy.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
will.
God, Judy.
I
Yeah.
like
Okay.
the window seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you gotta
I'm not
like that.
moving. So what is okay? So so Rodriga, so what is this? Who is this person that Judy is dating?
I don't know.
You don't pay him any attention. But Lucian, do you know about him?
Yeah, he's one of the guys I sell to. You know.
What do you sell to him?
Well, Neil steals prescription,
Right.
drugs.
Right.
That's
Okay.
what I need to sell.
We just
That's
have
right.
cigarettes.
Okay.
Cigarettes too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You start
Nice.
with cigarettes, you work up.
It's allergy
Exactly.
medicine, obviously.
Allergy medicine.
No, it's Robitussin.
Robitussin.
It's not legal
Yeah,
yet.
NyQuil.
NyQuil. Yeah.
Okay,
Illicit
The
NyQuil.
Hirsch stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
So what is he known for? Is he popular?
Yeah. Yeah, he is popular.
What does he do? What is he known for?
He works at Fashionable Mail down on the you know.
You just killed me.
He's a young Ben Affleck.
Young Ben Affleck.
Young Ben Affleck.
So is he on a
Oh
sports
my
team?
gosh.
Yeah.
Is he a football player?
Or
Or is he like does track and field?
He does crew rowing.
Crew.
I was gonna say like water polo.
Yeah.
That was my second choice. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So and what's his name?
Brad.
Brad.
Yeah.
Okay. Brad and Judy.
Oh.
Brad and Judy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What is Are we gonna diversify him a little bit? I know he said young Ben Affleck, but do you want to make him?
Black Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
There we go.
Black flag.
Black Fleck.
It's almost Batfleck, but
It's almost.
not quite.
Yeah, that's totally fine. And I only sell stuff to him when he's gonna have like a big rager, you know.
Right.
Like he
Yeah.
wants to have
Yeah.
some, stuff
Oh
to
man,
hand
he's
out.
gonna be a congressman.
So it's like
Yeah.
either like
He keeps a detailed calendar of all social
Of course he
Every
does.
day. Every
All right.
Thursday.
Okay. So
Brad.
So do you think let me see here. Yeah. So why do you think he trusts you?
Oh, he doesn't trust me.
Oh, he doesn't?
No.
So you're gonna snitch on him whenever, so he would keep buying from you?
No, he just knows that he has something on me, and just like
What
I
does he
some-
have on you?
So I'm selling him stolen prescription medication.
All right.
So you
Okay.
know.
So there you go.
All
Yeah.
right. Fair enough.
Like his dad. Oh, maybe his dad's the sheriff.
Okay.
Well, now that gets thick because the bordello must be known to the sheriff.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Oh, it's all very down
I was
Okay.
gonna
low.
say he's
you know.
a valued customer.
Exactly.
Yeah. We just
Okay.
what?
He has a
Yeah.
punch card.
That's right.
He
No,
never pays.
We just do drop boxes. You know, like there's this one locker on the third floor
okay.
where the
okay.
lock doesn't
yeah.
work.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I still think he has a punch card
And well, that too.
for looking the other way.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
For every
That's
10
stuff.
punches, you get one freebie.
so Morgan, who sits in front of you?
A student who is a wannabe goth.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, parents are immigrants. One is
Uh-huh.
from Morocco, one is from Algeria, so North African.
Nice.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, so we're
perfect.
both very, we're fringy in
Yeah.
a way. But I find him pathetic because he doesn't know what, like, he's trying to be all, I'm not afraid of death and all this stuff.
You run
You
into
know.
him down at the cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, you're such a poser.
Get outta here.
Poser, isn't that an 80s word? Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I am, so, let's see, what his, let's see, just trying to think of a good name.
Oh yeah.
How about Omar?
Okay.
Okay, Omar.
Does Morgan speak French?
Oh,
Yeah, do you take French or Spanish or German? Those are the three options.
Yeah.
French, Spanish. Okay, yeah. Let's say French.
French.
Okay, yeah.
So he speaks French too.
Oh yes, for sure.
I was gonna
Yeah.
Oh, that's
say,
perfect.
hate
You
a
guys have
biggest
French
con-
together.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I bet he writes really bad goth poetry in French.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
shares
yeah.
it with you.
Yeah.
So
And quotes Verlaine and Rimbaud.
Right. So why did he miss so much school last year?
Why did he miss school?
Last year he missed a lot of school.
Oh, okay.
Did he tell you why?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say one of his relatives was dying.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have to go back to the
Yeah.
old country?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
So he's
grandparent?
probably
Was it a grandparent or great
Islamic.
aunt or yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And so was it an aunt or a grandmother or
Yeah. Let's
grandmother?
Let's say grandmother. Yeah.
Okay. Did she pass away?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So he was out of school a lot for that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So, Nix, who sits in front of you?
Diego, the foreign exchange student.
Oh, where's he from?
Oh.
I'm thinking either Spain or Portugal, but I haven't asked him yet, like specifically.
Okay.
Take it Portugal because he speaks Portuguese because then we can't talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's frustrating.
That sounds good. Portugal. then.
Portugal? Okay.
Yeah.
So it'd be Diogo.
Diogo.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. And, so, have you, what else do you know about him?
So he's kind of like mousy and shy, and we're both in newspaper together.
Okay.
And he actually, I actually did switch seats with him. He used to sit where I'm sitting in front of Neil, but Neil's like a really terrible person, so he kind of like he felt really uncomfortable and asked me to switch, and I was fine with it.
Okay.
Neil likes to whip the person in the desk in front of him with the gold chain from his St. Joseph medal.
Yeah.
So,
He also might be terribly racist.
Yeah.
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Neil's not a good person.
No, Neil's bad.
Neil's first to die.
So,
Demon clown.
yes.
Neil's a meat shield.
Yes. So with Diogo, have you picked up on the fact that a lot of the students say that he's gay? Do you know what that is?
Oh, that's good.
And are you picking up on that?
Oh shit. I don't think I am. Maybe I'm picking up that he's actively visually enjoys spending time with me, but I'm kind of latching onto that not for the sexual reason, but probably because this is a person who's interacting with me in a way that Nicholas kind of did.
Oh.
With
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
with that innocent sort of joy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that super focused attention.
Yeah.
And he also kind of looks young for his age, so there's also kind of that.
Mm-hmm.
He probably doesn't have any body hair either.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's still kind of...
It's right. He hasn't been taking all of he hasn't been drinking the milk that has the steroids in it we have.
He didn't grow up drinking American milk.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
Or at least that's how the teachers rationalize it.
Right.
All right. So just a
Damn,
couple...
That's what happens.
Couple more minutes.
Yeah, we're good.
So, Colleen, I know that you have heightened senses.
Right.
So there's somebody who sits behind Brad. And they sit next to Nix and next to Omar.
Oh, God.
So I'm
Wait,
wondering
hang on. Sitting behind Brad next to
yeah,
Two
here we
seats
go.
behind you.
So two seats behind you. I'm
Yeah.
thinking
You did it without a
this is
chart.
where you are.
Uh-huh.
And then we have Brad.
Yep.
And then we have
Empty
this
space?
person who you pick up on. Who is this person that really you have observed with your keen senses?
Huh.
Does anyone have a thought?
Does anybody have anything?
Little seeds?
Maybe a sweaty jock? I don't know.
Another
We
one
haven't-
behind Brad?
Wait, is Jock oh yeah, Brad is a jock.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah,
has a
that's-
jock.
okay, we have
What's an
that.
archetype we don't have? We got the Molly Ringwald.
How
A
about...
cowboy?
No,
East Coast cowboy.
Do we have any astronauts?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, do we have a laboring class?
NPCs
Like
are
Ooh, I don't know.
boys,
Yeah, like-
so
Girl.
statistically
Should be
probably
a
another
girl.
It's a girl. Okay.
Is it a math whiz?
Is it a nerdy girl?
Yeah, we don't have one of them yet.
There we go.
A nerdy,
yeah.
geeky girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a math whiz.
But she's
Math.
really shy. That's why
Too.
she's sitting so
She's
far back.
sharp.
Well, she's
does she
sitting
wear
right in
more
front of
deodorant?
Lucian.
Maybe she does.
She's sitting in front of Lucian. Have you noticed her?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He
What do you-
notices everyone.
what
I
do you-
got my eye on her next.
Next.
She's his next project.
That's right.
Oh.
Why? What do you need to
Oh my
change
God,
about her?
she'd be so delicious.
Yes.
Ah.
Oh, she's all like buttoned down. So there's all this.
Yeah,
You know,
it's completely
It's
it's
untanned.
all
She's all
inside.
that.
Yeah.
Virgin Forest.
He's
Needs
gonna
to be
Freddie
opened up.
Prinze Jr.
That's right.
the hell out of
That's
that
right.
Take off her glasses
She
and
is
let out her
all
tail.
that. She is all that.
Exactly.
Glasses. Okay, so what are the rumors about her family? What are the rumors about her family?
Weren't they involved
Oh.
with the closing
Oh,
down
her
of the
dad
factory?
is like a priest or something like that, and that's why she's
Sure.
so uptight.
He's a pastor.
Oh, preacher's
Yeah.
daughter. Yeah.
Preacher's
Yeah.
daughter.
And
What do you
is
think?
involved in the shutdown of what now?
The
Yeah.
factory.
Oh, in the cannery.
Yeah.
Oh, her family maybe is behind the selling of the.
Oh, maybe they're turning the cannery into like a super church or like a mega church.
Oh,
That's interesting and odd.
so many weird things.
Why would you do that?
I
Why
know
would you
these are
turn a movie
competing.
theater into a mega church, but people do that.
Yes, they do. Yes,
They
they
do.
do.
And the Protestant,
Yeah.
there's a Protestant
I
group
don't know,
that maybe
megaplex to
wants
mega
to
church kinda
compete
makes
with the
sense.
class.
Yeah. It's
entertainment venue, nothing has changed.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's all
so
fiction.
To go off with the mega church idea. So Renee's bringing up like there's
Alright,
there's a Protestant factor
Yeah, absolutely.
in this town.
Yeah.
and they're trying to kind of compete with the local Catholic Church.
Right.
So her father is the pastor.
Yeah.
Okay,
the
and
Protestants.
Fine.
It's like naturally.
But of course.
and so I'm wondering.
And so they're trying to.
Yeah, like so you've picked up on her though. Like why?
Alright.
What about her has like struck you as like?
She only has half a soul.
Oh!
So she may be an infernal.
Yeah.
So she's not all that.
Oh,
Quite literally.
What's
she's
her
all
What's her
that
name? What's her
minus
name?
a bag of potato chips.
Oh, minus.
What's her
I was
name?
thinking the same thing.
Rachel.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does she look like?
Wow.
What does Rachel look like?
There has never been a ponytail pulled back more tightly.
Oh!
Very tight
There
ponytail.
is-
A little bit acne
Super
there.
dark hair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
I picture her with dark hair as well.
Yeah.
not a stray strand. It's
No.
It's shellac
it looks
back.
painful.
It's like a horse tail
Like
at the end
Well,
of it.
the,
Yeah.
the profile looks actively hurtful to me.
Right. Yeah.
See, that's what
maybe
you've
her
observed.
mom is
That's what I
taking
see.
that
Like
so
there's
that,
like I
yeah.
think there's like a
pain.
redness to like the line of her scalp that
Yeah.
I kind of notice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of like the follicle slowly being
Holy
pulled out.
shit.
Yeah. Oh my God, did I know girls like that?
Yeah. Oh, they
They
exist.
also did ballet.
Yeah.
Right.
And that little frilled collar blouse.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What else, Nix, did you notice about Rachel?
Have we determined how she dresses yet?
Kind of buttoned down,
Buttoned
but
down.
you can
So-
be more specific.
I think she dresses like the dolls that like that Nicholas like used to add into the to the tea parties.
Do
Like
you want to invite her to your tea party?
Yeah, it sounds like. there could
Oh,
be
I think
something
you're a
there.
little fixated on
I
her.
would. Well, she's right next to me.
Yeah.
So there's time to like ponder and like see all these. But also,
Yeah.
it kind of looks painful. Like if that's I fixate on her and I like wonder if that's how I look. Like if I'm like a fictional thing brought to life, if she's like a fictional doll brought to life,
Right.
and if it's that painful.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But you're good at easing pain. That's
So-
kind of your job.
Exactly. So how long have you been like really focused on her in kind of a semi-crush way?
Ever since what is it, Diogo? Swapped seats with me when I got that first sight line.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you were like, huh, okay.
Yeah.
Detected Rachel. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Holy shit. Okay, so we have Judy.
The magic works.
So we have so we have this. I'm going to create this chart for you guys to look at.
Wonderful.
So we have Judy, who's
I have
the.
a site that might work.
Okay, good. So you've been asked Kista, who brags about everything. She's a catalog model, goody two shoes, braggy. She hates Rodriga, but she also utilized the grandma grandma's services. What's your grandma's name? Abuela's name.
Inez.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
my
'cause
middle
that's your
name.
name, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So she's utilized Abuela's services for an abortion. Brr, 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 brr.
Get the DJ horn out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Vuvuzelas, right?
And my token is I totally have her monogrammed underwear.
You have the monogrammed underwear?
She left him.
Oh,
Am I
That's
jealous?
yeah, what is the focus?
Underwear.
The token.
The token.
Yeah.
Yeah, since I have a
Token.
That's
string, I'm gonna choose that I have that.
Okay.
Nice.
Holy shit. Left behind. Okay. So then we have we have Judy.
All right.
We have Colleen, who has a
Right.
crush on her teacher.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
Which that's a very big deal, and we need to
Van
figure
Halen be
out
damned.
the name of the teacher. We don't know the name of the teacher yet.
I
But
do.
What is it?
Is it Mrs. or Miss?
It's
Ms.
It's
Ms.
Ms. Batillion.
Oh.
Billion.
Batillion.
Interesting.
Is that her maiden name or is that her married name?
Well, she's Ms., right?
It's her maiden name. She's married, but
Yeah, but that's her
name.
maiden
She
name.
kept her maiden.
Oh.
That's why your husband's cheating on her.
That's right. She's a
That's what
fucking
you're-
feminist.
Yeah. So, and then we
That's a
have
problem.
Ronnie,
Yep,
who
that's a problem
is
right
just Ronnie just
mess.
is like a dropout mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Needs to
beauty
go to
school
beauty
dropout.
school.
Yep.
Yeah.
Girl, get it
Maybe
together.
she's cool though.
She's probably
She's fine.
yeah.
When he
Like
gets
you don't
know
have a problem with
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
She needs some parents to pay attention to her.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's probably the
Or a
one.
little
She
more.
needs attention. Maybe she's one of those attention seeking
Yeah.
person. Okay. Then we have Rodriga here. Here's Brad, who's part of the crew team. He has a crush on Rodriga. Is dating Judy.
Did he impregnate Judy?
I don't think so.
No?
What do you think? What do you think? Was
We gotta
Brad
know.
the father of this?
How long
The
ago did
zygote?
she
The
come to
zygote?
the abortion?
Oh, I bet this is over the summer.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if they were dating in the summer.
Maybe he's the rebound.
That's not my question.
Ooh,
Did he damn it to her?
Did he do it? I
I don't
don't.
think it was him.
I don't
No?
think it was
You
him
don't think it was
either.
him?
Yeah,
It was,
no.
but we gotta know who it was.
It was Steve. Who's Steve?
Steve.
Steve?
I thought it was Omar.
Steve? Question mark.
It wasn't Coach Steve, was it?
Oh, yes, it was.
Of course it was. Of course it
Coach
was.
of what? What's he the coach of?
The crew team.
Yeah.
Crew team.
He can't. We make small call him Captain.
Captain Steve.
Captain, Captain.
I like it.
Oh,
Wow.
Captain, my head. All right.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
So Brad is here. Brad has a crush on Rodriga. He takes prescription drugs that Lucian sells him.
Yeah.
He also
Grotesqueness is
he
big.
does. Yes.
He's a robo tripper.
I think he's had a. I think he's had a crush on Rodriga since like first grade.
Oh, that's painful.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Okay,
Yeah,
and then we
yeah.
have
She
Diogo.
doesn't give a shit about
No,
No.
we have Diogo
No,
who is gay.
Yeah.
Wait, who's gay?
Diogo.
All right.
He spends time with Nix. He's a foreign exchange student from Portugal.
Nice.
He's kind of mousy and shy, and he's
Yep.
in the newspaper class with Nix. He's just very sweet and innocent. And switch seats with Nix because of Neil.
Neil.
Freaking asshole,
Fucking Neil.
racist piece of shit, Renfield. He's the son of the pharmacist. He has bad acne glasses from Sears.
He looks like the kid from The Gate, you know.
Yeah, and he has
Yeah.
a crush on Lucian, actually.
Fine.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really know it.
Yeah.
Right.
And is he in denial? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course he is.
Totally
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
very confused.
That makes him
Right.
lash out even more.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's fucking
Yeah.
rage.
It's just a mess.
So Nix is here with a proper viewing angle here of everybody, and is sitting next to Rachel, who we developed as this really straight-laced, uptight preacher's daughter who is maybe self-harming with her hair and kind of
Yep.
very
Half
just
sold.
she's her father's a pastor. But Lucian also has his eye on Rachel as well.
Oh yeah.
And then we have Morgan, who has a crush on Lucian, the freaking badass right here, sitting in the back. And then, but then
everybody's revolving.
they are. And then Morgan is friends with Omar, who is this wannabe goth kid with immigrant parents from North Africa, and He speaks French. They speak French together. He's trying to be. He's kind of a little poser like, but he's still fine. But he missed a lot of school due to his grandmother passing away, and he came back just even more dark and tortured than ever.
Yeah.
So this is the seating chart for your homeroom so far.
All right.
So
We've got the mortician. We've got Captain Steve. We've got.
There's a lot of monsters lurking around.
There's parents. There's all sorts of parents.
Yes, there are parents as well, and with Vampire Bordello. So we have a lot here.
And to Howard Johnson's. Let's not forget that.
Yes,
That's most infernal of all.
Yes, exactly. It is. So we are going to close the session today, and we will play next week. And this was a lot of fun. You guys are amazing.
I can't wait.
And we haven't even started to play yet.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
Yes. So I'll do what I can to get you this information so you can just at least kind of look at it, and then.
No pressure.
Yeah, there's another website, I forget the name of it, but it's like Obsidian Portal, but every time you plug in an NPC, it auto-generates the connections that you specify, so it creates a relationship web.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that would be very handy.
Yeah,
for
I
these
think,
purposes.
I'll definitely use that. I hope the music was okay too.
Oh, the music was great.
And, good.
And the snacks are amazing.
Oh, good.
As
Yay.
always.
Thanks. And so we'll see what happens. There's a lot here. There's so much here. This is just ridiculous. So thank you so much for being open to this.
Absolutely.
Should we leave these here? Or?
Yeah, leave your X cards and character sheets, unless you really want to take them home and you feel like you can, bring them back. And then, or you can leave them here, whichever works best for you. Just make sure you bring them back next time.
Could you send the bear sheet?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay.